Okay, so you're gonna switch. What?
So many bookmarks. Ugh. I'm an studious weasel, and I keep bookmarks about.
Forrest, can you mute yourself? We're live.
Welcome to the show, diggy diggy dum dum diggy. Some days at the boogie, yow yow yow. Welcome to calling it now, diggy diggy dum diggy dibby do dibby dibby go bibby dibby abby dibby dibby do bibby dibby. Oh, welcome to the show. Stop recording. There has been some rumors that my performance was not a live performance. That is not true. I performed, it was pre-recorded, but performed live. And when the recording happened, they made a mistake when they were recording it. When they recorded it, they made a mistake and it was live. Because they didn't align the audio, and I love the producers. I have nothing but good, but they didn't know how to align it correctly. And I just want to address the rumors. I just want to address the rumors that was not live and that I lip synced that performance.
What a way to start a show. It's a very popular song. Who wants to hear of it 50 times more?
Yeah, go ahead. Can we hit play on that again? You don't mind just what? Welcome to the show, diggy diggy dum diggy. Some days at the boogie, yow yow yow. Welcome to calling it now, diggy diggy dum dibby dibby do dibby dibby go bibby dibby abby dibby dibby do bibby dibby. Oh, welcome to the show. Stop recording. I don't know why I said stop recording in that. I did not lip sync.
It's so fast.
Just so you guys know, I had that idea 5 minutes before live, and it took them 2 minutes to talk me into actually trying, because it just seemed like it'd be too much to pull off. And so with 3 minutes, all of the production to make that happen happened.
And while you were doing that, I was back here grabbing a book and like digging through and like looking something up. And you, unbeknownst to me, we had started the show. And so I'm over here singing to myself about finding bookmarks and being in a studious weasel.
What were you mumbling? At least
just about looking for a bookmark, right?
If it had been a minute prior, you would have heard his rant about why isn't there a White History Month?
I was furious about it. And why don't we get straight pride, you know? What's that all about?
What are you proud of?
I think at the end of the day, straight white men are probably the most marginalized group in America at this. I think in American history, we've always been oppressed. And
Queer Pride has like marches with pictures of like Harvey Milk. What are you guys going to put on your straight pride one? Like that's Brock Turner?
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Oh, yes, you do. You've just forgotten. He's the rapist. Brock Turner, who was raping
that narrows it down.
He was raping a young woman in an alleyway who was inebriated and passed out, tried to rape her, was intercepted and stopped, and the cop gave him a light sentence because he said, I don't want to ruin a young man's life over one little mistake.
I'm going to be honest with you, that still doesn't really narrow it down. But like, I get it.
It's like a really famous rape case where the guy like got
that sounds a lot like a lot of things, especially here in Oklahoma. There was just a big thing in in Stillwater, where Oklahoma State University is, where there was a young boy who also raped, I think, a couple of like a few young women. And same thing, the police were just like, well, I mean, we don't want to drag this out for this young man.
Boys.
It happens all the time, and it sucks so bad.
I need a better setup for putting this away. Yeah, everything's terrible, and the world is awful, and I don't know if you guys have heard. Listen, all right, let's just start off here. If you would like, you can debate and tell us what we're wrong about. I have noticed in the last week, getting calls is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I feel like we've won. I feel like we've won the war on theism and on capitalism and on MAGA, and they just don't want to discuss it anymore. It's over. You know what I mean? It's done.
I know they go. Yeah, well, and right now, it's looking real bad for you guys, because it seems to be, I've been asking for a long time, why did Donald Trump obstruct the release of the Epstein files? And it seems to me we're starting to find out why. Because it seems to me that we are finding out from people, and I don't mean just Democrats or liberals, those goddamn libs, who have now seen the files that like, oh shit, they are redacting and protecting people that it doesn't make sense. You were supposed to only redact victims, keep the victims safe. And there are people like the Sultan, for example, emailing Jeffrey Epstein about appreciating a torture video.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah. And what I'm loving the amount of like internet sleuths who are finding ways. Like it's been a thing for a minute that they found ways to unredact a bunch of stuff because they weren't even doing their crappy job properly. And finding like the sheer amount of everybody, from politicians to billionaires to just university professors, just everybody who's being implicated in this in the most like indefensibly horrific ways. And as we talked about last time, you and I, when we were talking about this stuff, like, it's these things where you have to remember over and over that, like, a lot of these things are allegations, but then you actually have direct communication between the known sex trafficking pedophile and any random person, and they're like, man, it sure was fun fucking all those kids, and they're like, yeah, bro, and it's like, it's just plain as day. And it's really, really, really weird that anybody is still defending this at all.
And defending Donald Trump specifically. I mean, you have some of his, we'll wait till see if anybody wants to call in and defend it, but we'd love to know, what love do you still have for Trump? What is Trump doing right? He's not improving immigration situations. He's not improving the economy. Costs aren't getting better. Like the shit is getting worse, and we also know that shit's going to get way worse because the shit with the tariffs and stuff is going to make costs go up even more. He exploded the deficit, and let's keep in mind that Jamie Raskin today is one of these senators. No, he's a congressman. Congressman who has now seen more of the Epstein files and said, yeah, so you know how he was mentioned tens of thousands of times, Donald Trump, in the version the public has? Millions, over a million mentions of Donald Trump in the unredacted
Jamie
file.
Raskin who said that, right?
Yes, and the law was written specifically that nobody, including Donald Trump, should be protected. So the question is, why? Why?
And that's what gets me so much is we have these emails of people saying, like, did you torture this girl? Emails of people saying, hey, I have some beautiful young things coming your way. One's 8 and one's 9. And like these emails that are just absolutely unbelievably horrific. And the FBI didn't edit out who they're to. They edited out who they're from. So they're blacking out who is saying these things, who is committing these crimes. Why are you protecting the perpetrators? And now, they're finding that, like, apparently 95% of the work the FBI did was just hiding Donald Trump's name. And that's something that's so frustrating to me, because that is literally not just what all of us were saying. There was that leaked video of that dude, and I don't remember off the top of my head. Somebody in the chat will probably remember. It was some state official who was on a Hinge date and was secretly recorded. And the date asked him, like, what's up with these Epstein files, right? And he was like, oh, yeah, we're going to make sure to, black out Trump's name anywhere it comes up and make sure to implicate any Democrats we can, and then we'll release them. Just plain as day.
Yeah.
And, like, that was, and for this entire time, everybody with half a brain has been saying, yeah, obviously they haven't released them. They're hiding all of their friends first. They're hiding the president first. Everybody who can think like out of a paper bag has been just knowing that the reason why they're violating the law, the reason why they have not released these files and within the time they're supposed to, is because the dumb sons of bitches cannot just do Control F, type in Trump, and redact. They're bad at the job they're doing, and the job they're doing is evil. So bad, in fact, that there are pieces of information there with Donald Trump's name on it, but it's written in cursive, and the dumb bastards can't read cursive, so they didn't even notice. Yep. They blacked out Trump's face in pictures that were already public, and then they went back and they went back and retracted things that had Trump's name and face and everything in it.
There was a place
they already
where
released it that they forgot.
There was a place where there was a typo where the word "don't" was written as Don space T. They forgot the apostrophe. Don space T got redacted. The rest of the email is there except for Don space T.
Yep. It is just so blatantly, unequivocally, unmistakably, undeniably, obviously corrupt and evil. And any human being who is still defending this absolute piece of garbage, this pedophilic, Nazi, illiterate son of a bitch.
Get them to call in and defend it. Tell them what they are to their face.
I don't think they know how to use the numbers on the phone to do so, because you have to be dumber than several bags of sand to still defend Donald Trump. It's unbelievable. I used to Austin Archer, I love him. He's a great guy. We've been friends for a minute. I took umbrage with the way he was talking about MAGA for a minute, because he was like, you're either stupid or evil at this point. If you still support Donald Trump, you were either too stupid or too evil for me to handle your existence. It's insane. And I was like, hey man, that's really harsh. But I agree with him now. I've lost it. I've completely seeing, especially the past couple of weeks, if you still support Donald Trump, you were either dumb as all hell or just a fucking evil person. And it turns out a lot of you.
There's some extra categories we could throw in there. Narcissists. Like it would be so life altering for you to admit how wrong you were about him and all of this. And I suspect. So here's the deal. If you're watching right now and you're like, no, I can still make a good case for Donald Trump, because you know who else didn't release the Epstein files? Biden. If you want to call in and make that argument, you can. There's that phone number, 336-543-2101. The number that I almost held up my phone the other day to type it in and show people how to. And I remember, just at the right time, I turned it away. Because if you hit 3, that's the F key. iPhone has the smart dialer now. And it literally popped up your name and your full phone number. So I almost doxed me. Yeah, very nearly fully doxed you.
Thank you. I almost did that to Jesse a couple of times, and you once, I think.
Yeah. I've doxed myself before. I accidentally one time, in the early days, we would put the phone number up on the screen on like a banner that would play beforehand, and you could change it anytime you wanted to. And one time I accidentally put my cell phone number up instead. It was for a short enough period of time, no one noticed, but yeah, it was funny. Anyway, guys, at MAGA, here's what I want to hear from you. We'll talk to this guy here in just a second, but here's what I want to hear from you. Salvatore Nurara, Zorab Mikaladze, I don't know how to say a lot of these names, Leonik Leonov, Nikola Caputo, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, and Leslie Wexner, famously the CEO of Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie and Fitch, and there's one more.
Call in.
Why were we protecting those 6 of them? Why did the DOJ, who was given the directive to protect no one except the victims, why did we protect those 6 rich billionaire class people? You tell me. That's all I want to know. All right. In the meantime, Jay in Illinois is calling to correct me on some stuff. Pronouns he, him. Jay, how old are you? Jay, hello?
I want to hear you correct Jimmy.
We tested the call system before we started.
No, it works. It does work.
Jay in Illinois, you're on the line with Jimmy and Forrest. All right, I'll put you back in the queue for a second, Jay, and we'll just test this again real quick, because we did test beforehand.
You want me to call in?
I'll do it real quick. I already got it up. I'm ready to go. Oh, Jay hung up.
Oh,
Jay, call back. I was excited. I was excited to take my lumps. Let me check here.
Don't
I'll
lump
mute
him.
myself.
He's calling back. It seems he's coming through the screening room now.
Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Forrest, I need you to speak back.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay, but I can hear you, as I would expect there to be.
Yeah, everything worked on both directions. So, all right, let me bring Jay back in. Jay.
Hello?
Oh, now I'm hearing myself also echoing in the distance. I think it's from you, Forrest. Jay in Illinois is calling in to correct me on something. Jay, you're going to have to remind me of our conversation because I do a lot of these things. I don't necessarily. When did you call in?
It was a little over a month ago. I don't know the exact date, but the clip was just posted yesterday.
Okay. I also don't even control the clip releases, so that does nothing for me.
He barely does anything here.
Well,
Yeah, that's true. A little over a month ago. And Jay, how old are you?
I'm 22.
And so we had a discussion where I assume that I said to you, if these are your values, you should be a socialist, not a capitalist.
It was more so me. Yes, that's an all right summarization. Yeah.
Okay. And so which value, because you said I mischaracterized you, which value did you present do you feel isn't more compatible with socialism than capitalism? Just to get to the meat of it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is technology and rapid growth there. I think capitalism can direct individuals better into things that are in demand than socialism can.
Can we turn up Jay's volume a little bit there,
I immediately have questions.
Ms. Producer?
I don't know if you're wanting to...
So Jay, that wasn't one of the things we would have discussed, correct? I'm saying you want to say that you do still believe you're a capitalist, basically because you realize there are other values than our discussion. But you're, I think, saying that you believe that capitalism drives innovation more effectively than socialism would, and therefore socialism is inferior.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have two questions. One, question one would be, is it more important to get everyone health care and increase everybody's quality of life, even if it slows down innovation? Or is it more important to have innovation at the cost of worse outcomes for healthcare, worse outcomes for overall life quality? That would be question one. And then question two is, whoever told you that socialism was anti-technology or anti-innovation of technology? So those would be your two things.
Yeah, the first question, obviously the former. I just also believe that it's a good healthcare system, one with better outcomes is completely fine and feasible under capitalism, even if it requires more regulation than other sectors.
So would you believe that it should be a capitalist healthcare system, or do you believe that it should be a socialized healthcare system, but within a capitalist country?
A socialized healthcare system within a capitalized country. But that's mostly for this specific sector. I feel like it's gotten, it's festered a bit too much, and there needs to be a reset there.
Okay, so we're going to socialize, I assume, just to be clear, we're going to socialize healthcare because healthcare capitalists have had too much incentive to deny us as much as possible so that they can make as much money as possible off of whether or not we survive when we're sick. And so you see the wisdom there. Now I get that, and I go and I now extend that wisdom to your labor rights, your retirement rights, your rights to eat, your rights to be clothed, your rights to have food, your rights to be in shelter. If anything, it's all of those things. And the easiest way to equalize that is to prevent a company from basically operating that way, where the interest of an individual or a small board are absolutely treated as more important than, for example, their workers. So like Walmart is allowed to pay workers so little that the workers have to get welfare on top of it, meaning that Walmart makes billions of dollars and also gets billions of dollars in benefits. And then taxpayers are helping pay the wages of a Walmart employee, despite the fact that they are super rich. So this is why I see socialism as actually solving the issues and the values that we are describing. And so what is your contention with any of the other categories that I said must be socialized?
Yeah, I don't have a direct. I think each individual topic needs to be taken on its own value. I wouldn't say that because the healthcare industry. I wouldn't say that it's universal. But specifically, like very clearly what Walmart is doing is monopolistic. I think with strong antitrust and better tax laws and incentives within capitalism can still solve the same problems of worker abuse and what's the word? Yeah.
Dear, do we have his auto gain on and pumped up, because people are still complaining that they can't hear him, though they were complaining they couldn't hear him while I was speaking, which may be a different problem.
Yeah, I have it turned up. I could turn it up a tiny bit, but that's as far as it'll go.
Just try and make sure that his green bar is hitting roughly what mine is hitting when we're speaking. That's pretty much the way to do it. We'll do our best here. Okay. Well, so which industry is it you believe it's important to preserve that the America be a capitalist nation? That
I don't think there. Sorry, yeah, I don't think there's any specific industry that needs to be preserved. I think that within a capitalistic framework, all the same problems, or at least the vast majority of the same problems, can still be solved. And I think it would be easier to alter the system we have now to be more in line with humanistic ideals than it would be to implement a brand new system from the ground up.
So with the fact that rich people are doing better than ever, there's more capital than ever, capitalism, in theory, is more capitalistic than ever. Why hasn't that happened?
I mean, especially in the U.S. specifically, I feel like my big three, or at least the very biggest point I'd have in capitalism is a strong competition, and there hasn't been any major antitrust action.
Capitalism isn't pro-competition. Monopoly is like super capitalist, in fact.
This was the main thing. It's like there is a version of capitalism where monopolies are a key factor. There's also versions of capitalism where it isn't.
Mm-hmm. So would that be solved if instead of the corporations being owned by and all the decisions made by just a few people, if you say spread out the decision making to the stakeholders who are also the laborers and the employees and the people?
I'm sure that's a possibility. I don't see how that directly follows, though.
If you're wanting to improve companies, taking it away from the interest of a very small group of people to a very large group of people, you don't see how that would improve the policy and how it affects the public?
It would also, that would come at costs of...
Good.
Of what?
Good.
It would come at the cost of other... sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. I don't know what... I wasn't going to say it was going to come at the cost of technological advancement or anything. I was going to say I've forgotten what it came at the cost of now.
Yeah, I can tell you what it probably was going to turn out to be. You would have used a lot of words that made it not that, and I would have gone fetishized consumerism. Bummer. It's okay if you have to have an iPhone for a couple more years, the same iPhone.
I have a totally different question.
Go ahead, Forrest. Forrest has a question for you, Jay.
Well, it's just that something that I think we missed at the very beginning, that, Jay, your initial point was that capitalism breeds innovation, was basically what you talked about, that so you have more of an incentive to innovate and diversify and all these things in a capitalist economy. Is that what I'm understanding?
I wouldn't say in the current U.S. capitalist economy, but in an
ideal one.
Capitalist. Yes.
Right. So we talked since then. You talked about, healthcare should be more socialistic, and I'm willing to bet that you also would enjoy things like public schools, public roads and bridges, public infrastructure, municipal water. Like, all of those things should also be under the current socialist frameworks, if not better ones, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So here's the thing. All of those things are making sure that individuals' needs are met. It's just raising the floor, right? So that there's a certain level that you cannot sink below in this society. And so my question to you is, if you're really interested in innovation, do you think that people will be more or less likely, or I should say more or less able, to invest in innovation and participate in innovation and sink time and money and energy into innovating if more of their basic needs were met and they weren't so worried about dying on the street because they didn't have enough money as they do today in our capitalist country?
Yeah, that's actually a key point of my stance, is that yes, it needs to be there, because there is not a current option that can take care of the health of the majority of U.S. citizens properly.
We're not just talking about health. We're not just talking about health. If we're talking about socialism here on like a broader scale, we're going to have a lot of the social safety nets way more expanded. And more importantly, we're going to have a lot of the pitfalls of our society simply not there anymore. And so not only would these people be able to innovate better, they would be able to survive the process of innovation. You wouldn't have the situation we have today where you have to already be rich or absurdly lucky to get ahead with a new idea. But also, the innovations made, the new discoveries, new developments, new inventions, new industries, all these things, would be more likely to benefit everybody and the world, instead of being a novel, flashy thing that hits the market, makes a bunch of money, destroys a few acres of woodlands, and dries up a lake, and pollutes the hell out of a small town, and then goes away, right?
I'm a little confused on why, why would, because under a socialist economy, why would the technological advancements be specifically better for that? I understand that, yes, there are many things happening in technological advancement right now that's coming at direct harm to a lot of people and a lot of environments. It's also doing. It's not as if it's working. The reason it's continued on this long is because these companies are allowed to do whatever they want without any regulation at all. Every single part of what I think is negative about the current capitalist economy comes from a lack of consistent regulation of the rules.
Jay, in a capitalist economy,
let me make it more clear. In a socialist economy, right? We know socialism is the workers owning the means of production, right? So here we have this talk that everything you've given us here, that these capitalists are they're negating the rules, they're sidestepping the rules, they're skirting around regulations. And when we see these companies that are able to get away with all sorts of environmental damage and all sorts of harm to their workers and all sorts of illegality and all these things, it's because they're just too big to fail and they have all this money. We agree that these things are happening. The question is, in a socialist framework, how would I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but if the people on the bottom are the ones who all have these votes, how many companies do you think would the workers vote to pollute their own town? Would they vote to lay off a bunch of their own people and ship jobs over to some other country? How many of them would vote to cut their own wages, to damage their own environment, to skirt around their own laws that they also voted and supported to put in place to protect their own communities? These problems, I'm not saying they are impossible in a socialist framework. I'm saying many of the issues that you have with capitalism that you say need to be regulated are only possible on this scale, and only really this likely under this capitalist framework. And so the major issues you're presenting here about wanting to innovate and improve the culture around and also improve capitalism, literally, why waste your time? Get rid of the crap. And here's the socialist framework, which not only allows for the same innovation, it makes it more likely, more sustainable, more possible, more diverse, more accessible, and it gets around all of these problems that you're saying you want to try to fix with capitalism. Just don't try to fix capitalism. Don't try to reform something that's shitty and broken. Do something better, is all I'm saying.
Jay, in a capitalist framework, I'm going to return to questions for you, Jay. In a capitalist framework, what is that innovation targeted toward? I'll give you a hint. The hint is in the name capitalism.
That's true.
Yeah, capital.
Right. The innovation is targeted toward the good of capital. In other words, making more money. What would you guess in a socialist economy and in a socialist nation, innovation would be targeted more toward?
It would have to be
in the word socialism.
innovation.
If one's capital good, innovation for the sake of capital good versus what good? It's right there in the word.
Social, it would be, yeah.
Right. So even if you convince me there would be some kind of slowdown, I would ask you, of what type were we talking? Because we've actually seen that even countries with a more socialist framework and less resources have therapeutics for certain things, like Cuba with lung cancer, despite the fact that they have a lot of smokers, even though they have less resources than us, because they target social good. And so at the end of the day, am I going to be bummed out that there won't be a 2026 Ram 1500 that's meaningfully different than the 2025 Ram 1500? Not really. I'm still in a 2022 right now. But not really when it's like, but so overall, we've had less innovation. There's the new clasp on the Gucci bag just ain't like what the new clasp we were understanding. The new updates to the iPhone's phone camera app and the 2 more ounces of silicone and whatever else. I'm sorry, I'm saying dumb tech shit, but I'm not, even if you can convince me that the innovation is going to go overall down, if that also means it comes with more targeted innovation, and you can't do what we've heard have leaked from people who worked in pharmaceutical companies high up time and time again. If you were working on a easy cure for something like bronchitis or asthma, you basically got pulled away from that. We're going to stick to giving you albuterol, something you refill every month, not something that, and you don't even have to, even if people want to sit there and go, that's a conspiracy, guys, because, with the competition, whoever can make that first is going to make that money. So they're going to, meanwhile, we find out a lot of these companies either cooperate with each other to set pricing, make sure that within competition, the amount of cooperation amongst the billionaires is insane. And we don't even have to worry that something like that would happen, where we will make more money selling you albuterol inhalers every month for the rest of your life than selling you a therapeutic that only takes a couple of months and now you don't have asthma. I'm not concerned that iPhone innovation could be affected, but also not concerned that is even a demonstrable fact. And so now coming back to the topic and something to turn it back over to you, when we say that, some of you in chat are going to horny jail. When you say acknowledge that the innovation is for the capital good instead of the social good, I think capitalism and socialism also tells you where the power is, and that the power in a capitalist society is with the capital, and in a socialist society is with the social, as in the people. And that to me is the big thing, because if we do it your way with our current capitalist society, and innovate regulations the way you're saying, and the rich people with the money who are making bonkers amount of money, and please lower down your monitor volume, Forrest, because I can still hear myself echoing.
I've got it right here. You cannot hear it. I guarantee it.
Mute your mic. 100%. I can already tell I can hear it. Because it's
how
gone.
Is that?
Can't hear it. I don't know.
How is that possible? It's only in my
magic.
ear. And
It's
I can
magic,
also hear
I guess.
myself sometimes feedback. So what's going on with that?
I don't know. But I can hear it now. Mute yourself again.
Alexander.
Mute yourself again, and I'm going to keep talking to this guy and see if it pops back up. Okay, AJ. Yeah, it's completely gone.
Yo.
It might have something to do with wavelength. I don't know. You're feeding something back. But
Well, I'm going to figure it out.
If the power is with the capital versus the power is with the people, and you go, we need to innovate this way that forces you guys in a capitalistic way to redistribute your wealth. The income disparity is so insane. We just can't do it this way. So we're going to regulate you down, and you need the capitalist to participate with that. What is your plan for organizing enough people and saying, hey guys, trust us, capitalism will do enough. Here's the delay. Because I've got a pitch for organizing people for an economic revolution when we say, you know what? You shouldn't have to save money to get cataract surgery because that's a curable disease. You can literally go from blind to not blind. I have an easy pitch for those guys. For you with the guys, promise we're going to keep capitalism. So we need to overthrow these billionaires, but keep them as billionaires and get them. When the billionaires just say no, and in a capitalist society, we have the power because we have the money. What's your plan?
Yeah, I mean, like that's a wide range question, but it was actually the exact same question I was going to ask you before, ask Forrest before you started. How
Mine's easy.
exactly do you? Sorry, my question was how exactly do you institute this sort of economic change in a reasonable time frame?
Harshly.
Because I
Yeah. I'm talking
I'm
big
just
time as people are getting to their rope's end, and now we're also getting to the place where AI is taking jobs away. People's ability to make ends meet is getting worse and worse. You already have a huge disaffected population that's only growing. Revolution is essentially inevitable at this point because they are literally trying to innovate not just some people's jobs away, everyone's jobs away. So you start it with a very democratic economic attempt where you try to, and there's been little gains here and there. Now it's time to get closer to getting behind somebody like Bernie, and this time tell the Democrats, if you take him away this time, we'll eat you. Metaphorically, and then you go from there. And everything else right now, we're still in the communication phase. We're still in the debate phase. We're still in the do it in the following the processes of democracy, but they've already taken our democracy from us. So eventually a discussion will have to be had about whether or not it's done by force.
I think I fixed it,
Yeah,
and I'm
fine.
hoping that it works.
I'm sorry, Wiz,
No,
who
it's
says Jimmy the AI user. You are also an AI user, so oops. Welcome to the algorithm.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
mostly like
it so speaks of the people who are like, oh, he's a socialist, but he uses capital. I pay rent too. What are you gonna do about that? Eat landlords. Okay, go on, Jay.
yeah, no, like I guess the main sticking point here is that yeah, I'm stuck on the first step there. I got a hot take that murder is bad, no matter what, and
I didn't say
political
murder anybody.
assassination.
I
Okay,
didn't say
then
politically
what?
assassinate anybody.
Okay, are we talking jail time?
Sure. The
Sure.
current administration
Okay.
deserves to be in prison for sure. Are you joking? I don't believe in the death penalty. Put them all in chains.
Okay. I'm okay. If that is the level where that you're coming at it from, sure.
No.
It's
I mean, until they start
it's more-
killing us, of course, which they've already begun doing. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah, I do. I'm only equipped to handle things, civilly. As soon as things start getting into their
Bro, I'm 36 and I'm almost 36 and super ill. You think I'm going to be out there on the front lines putting them in cuffs? I'm going to be clapping as people more capable than me go do it.
Yeah, I guess I'm really stuck on like the first line. Yeah, well, right now we are still working.
I meant chronically ill. I hope I said chronically ill.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna deny. I outright yes, fascism is taking over the U.S.
Fascism's the end stage of capitalism. Capitalism got you here, bud.
Yeah. But I was saying yes, fascism is taking over the U.S. But right now we're still at the things need to be handled democratically. There is a system, and I find myself clinging to the system.
What if the fascists already took away the? You said things still need to be happened democratically. Donald Trump is seizing voter rolls so that he can, whatever scheme, they're already starting their scheme. There's already been voter suppression. There's already gerrymandering. Already handled democratically, you mean within what little democracy we can squeak in? At what point, and again, I don't think it's today. Clearly, I'm on a show still debating at what point is there a step beyond where they've taken away our ability to handle it democratically?
What do you think that bar is exactly? If it's
clearly
civilians, we've gotten there.
They're already killing civilians. So what do you want? What democratic thing do we have? Donald Trump right now has been able to stop Minnesota from participating in the FBI investigations into the deaths that were caused by federal officers. What would you suggest is the remedy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fucking 22. I don't got, but like the biggest thing I've been going for is 2026. There have been major shifts away from the Republican side in every election so far. I don't see
Hey,
why
Wiz,
that
please call in
pattern would
real
continue.
quick. Wiz, please call in. Right, there have been shifts, but right now, if we operated in a democracy and there hadn't been excessive gerrymandering and voter suppression, would they even have any kind of thing close to a majority in the House, or has it been that undermining democracy delivered them a majority?
I'm not here to like remotely. Yes, I fucking I'm for as long as I can be. I have been aware of the political tomfoolery that's been happening here. That's given them control. I just can't. I can't get myself past the gap between. You know, do you think that's even something that I should be trying? I personally don't think it's something.
You keep bringing up how we need to use these democratic ways to fix things, and I think that it is interesting to sit here and talk about how already we have crossed so many lines and so many bars, and it's really difficult to tell where we're at in terms of whether those things are possible or necessary or where you can do. That's all a fine conversation. What I find is more interesting is that you are actively defending capitalism, which is inherently anti-democracy. So, like, I don't understand what the hang up here is, where it's like, I think we need to have this. It's
That's
right?
Wednesdays.
I don't understand what the issue is here, where it's like, no, it was good. I think we need to fix this democratically by supporting a system which allows you to have a bigger say depending on how much money you have. More shares means more votes. Certain people can be cast out without any will or autonomy of their own. You are impotent to change certain situations. You can buy elections. You can, if you're a big enough corporation, you can write a bill and submit it and pay for a lobbyist to push it through. Like you're backing the system that takes away your democratic power, that erodes democracy, while saying we need to use democracy within that system to preserve that system and try to stop the fascists who are all capitalists. So I just don't understand why you're in this fight with yourself.
Yeah.
When you could just say, this whole thing sucks. It's not necessary to say we need to burn it all down and start from complete scratch, because that fucking sucks. That's a terrible thing. But like, you could just say, literally everything needs to change piece by piece, brick by brick. We will do the work, but nothing about this is worth saving. Like,
and maybe we'll eat a
fair,
guy, just one. Jay, so
all needs one.
Here's my question. Here's my question then, Jay. Let's make it about democracy, since it seems like that's the core of your issue. So it's democracy. And you've agreed, I think, with my premise that democracy has been eroded and in many ways taken from us. So if democracy has been taken from us, how would a person utilize democracy, the thing they took, to restore democracy?
So it's being eroded. It hasn't been demolished yet.
I would say in many places it's been taken. So let's say you've got a sword and I've got a knife left. You've got all the power of the sword and I've got a knife. Who's going to win in a sword fight with a knife versus a sword?
Yeah, the sword, obviously. But if we just take it away from metaphors,
and unfortunately, their sword is more like a drone, and our knife is actually just a knife.
Yeah, the thing I was going to say is like just away from that. I'm familiar with the stuff happening in Minnesota. I'm as politically inclined, more than average, I would say. But like, where has it been outright removed?
The gerrymandering shit that they just did in Texas. That's first. And by the way, this has been a way they've been doing it for a while. Voter suppression laws, despite the fact that we have absolutely audited election after election, found that there have not been significant amounts of fraud. When there is fraud, it usually is to the favor of the Republican, like the guy who called on Sunday and got put into a corner and had to confess that he committed voter fraud for Donald Trump. Go watch Sunday's show if you don't believe me. Literally a MAGA supporter admitted to committing voter fraud for Donald Trump on Sunday's show, guys. So feel free to go check that out. I think it might have been the last call or one of the last two calls. where has it has been taken away from? I'm just going to go out on a limb, Jay, and guess that you are white.
Brown, no, Indian.
Interesting, Jay. The fact that you don't know, granted, Indian people do still have more privileges in America over black people, but that you don't know that the democracy has been eroded and outright taken away from many black civilians in ways that we don't take away from white civilians, over policing them, putting them in prison more often, elevating charges to felonies, whereas with white people, they look for reasons to bring them down to misdemeanors more often, to get those rights taken away. So you've got the criminal justice system, which is also a slavery system, is one of the many ways. You have the election bullshit that they're doing, and now they're clearly ramping up. So Jay, let me ask you this. If this year, the day after the election happens, the votes are tallied, and like Adam Schiff said, we have to blow out this election so big that they can't even say it was stolen, which, by the way, is bullshit. Adam Schiff, whatever, notwithstanding, occasionally does some good things. He's still very much a liberal. That is bullshit. You win if you win by one vote. But for the Democrats to safely win, it has to be a blowout because we don't play by different rules. So they can't even claim it was stolen. Let's say the blowout happens and they still claim it was stolen. And Donald Trump tries to use presidential powers to prevent people who were elected into office, and not real presidential powers, but ones that just won't go challenged, to stop people who were elected from office taking office, which is a very real possibility that we reach. At that point, what are you good with?
Yeah, I just wanted, like, that was a stupid. Yeah, I knew most of what you were talking about. That was just me talking and getting a blindside. But it's I can't. It just feels like such, just axiomatically, like political violence will only lead to.
Okay, great.
Like,
so what instead? If this November Donald Trump stops the duly elected representatives from taking their seats, which that wouldn't happen until January, but they announced that they've canceled the election. He declares some kind of martial law or the Insurrection Act or something like that. He starts imprisoning governors. He starts arresting governors. He starts, not violence. I don't want violence either. What are you down with?
Yeah, no, arrests. I feel arrests.
Okay.
Arrests,
and now how do you arrest the president in that scenario?
No, that's, yeah, I can't. There's not going to be a good answer, honestly.
So it sounds like the only option that you're trying to avoid is a massive protest of lots of people that basically says either the government mass murders its citizens in these protests, or this government gets overthrown. And when you think about what even capitalists want to preserve, in that moment, protecting the people, the tyrants, wouldn't be on the menu anymore because they have to protect their bottom line. And frankly, if that's what happened, their companies aren't going to do super well if literally a massive protest was just killed. So basically what I'm saying is, Jay, I also don't want violence. There is no government that maintains a long-term status of non-corruption unless there is a threat of violence. So I don't want it to get violent. I am not calling anyone to get violent. But the government has nothing to fear if there is nor do its citizens. We live under a constant threat of violence. Don't break these laws or something violent may happen to you by the government, up to the death penalty. But certainly being imprisoned is a violent offense. Being restrained in that way is a violent, not offense, but a violent thing to happen. So if you're going to say there's no possibility of violence, that is to say, hey, you who's oppressing me, I'll never go as far as you will. So what do they have to fear? I mean, right-wing people say this shit all the time. Nothing happens to them when they go, we have the Second Amendment to make sure Obama remembers his place. Right? That's the shit they've been telling us for a long time. And it's more than just the Second Amendment. But if you're going to tell me you'll never put it on the table, not utilize it, but never put it on the table, it will never be on the table, no matter how tyrannical they become. then Jay, you should move. You should leave because
safe.
there's violence is coming. I just don't know which side it's going to be from. Something horrible is coming. We are headed toward, there is no outcome to all this that can't be terrible. I don't know who emerges alive and intact on the other side of it. And I hope I'm wrong and that doesn't happen. That one day they turn on the right AI and it figures out how to save all the climate and figures out how to deliver everybody peace and orgasms on demand. I hope we get utopia because it turns out ChatGPT 6.0 can run the entire world on a single drop of water and just fix everything. Like, that would be great. But, history, everybody needs to type in Ian McClellan, Jimmy Fallon, Shakespeare, I think it was on. 400 years ago, we were doing this exact fucking thing. And Shakespeare wrote a speech about it that, if it weren't for the type of English it uses, could just be said word for word. And watching Ian McClellan perform it will chill you to your core and your nipples will never be the same. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty much done. I guess
It was on John Oliver? Hang on. Somebody's telling me that Ian McClellan was on John Oliver.
I know the speech. I don't know where it was yet, but I know the speech you were talking about. Yeah.
No, it's Colbert. Everybody's wrong.
Colbert.
Stephen Colbert,
Yeah.
Ian McClellan. It was just a couple of days ago. And he gives dude, like, even just seeing the still of it gives me chills again. Everybody go watch that. And at first you're going to go, oh, it's going to give you chills. And then you're going to be fucking depressed.
It's like that
400
time
years ago, it was the same goddamn thing.
It's like that time when NPR was for the 4th of July, NPR tweeted out the Declaration of Independence in pieces, like just in Twitter-worthy chunks, and a ton of people were like, "Holy shit, this all applies today." Oh, when they're releasing out the list of grievances against the king, and they're like, "Oh my God, this all applies today." They didn't know it was the Declaration of Independence, and they were like, "NPR is calling for a revolution."
Right.
They're
Right.
literally telling us everything the government's doing, and they're saying that anybody who sees this should overthrow their government. It's the time. And NPR had to be like, "Hey, y'all, this is just how the country was founded." Notable parallels, and that was back when Obama was in office. And so, yeah, I agree with Jamie. Like, I don't want anyone to get violent. I will never encourage a protest to be violent. I won't say never. I will almost certainly never encourage protest to be violent unless it is for self-defense or just if it's just absolutely insane. But yeah, dude, it's one of the many reasons not to cycle it all back. One of the many reasons I don't take MAGA seriously at all, because now
Forrest,
they're
what you just said
anti-Second
brings
Amendment.
up the good question. What is self-defense?
That is a good question. I'm
Is
not going to answer it
revolution
right now.
not self-defense?
No, and it is.
And the revolution was fought over
in a lot
less.
of sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, I agree with what Jimmy's saying, where it's that the point is the implication, the fact that this is always on the table, not something we're celebrating, not something we're pushing, not something we're saying we're gonna do, but if at the end of the day the threat is, we're gonna sit here and let you kill as many of us as you have to until everyone sees you're the bad guys. That works a lot. Hey, civil disobedience, peaceful protest, that all genuinely powerfully works a lot. And sometimes it doesn't. And when you have people like this they're just fine sending you to a concentration camp, then it's kind of harder for that to work. But
AJ, you've got a lot to think about. You want to take what we've had here and then maybe come back after you've had some time to mull it over?
Yeah, I'm honestly probably good. I'll tell. Yeah, my line is if they try and cancel elections, I'm a socialist. I was thinking about it while you guys were talking. Yeah, that's my line. But until then,
it's only 40 lines too late. And make sure. And the thing is, AJ, the thing I worry about people and I don't mean this as a derogatory way, but like you with lines like that, then it becomes very but okay, they did a lot of it, but is that fully? Because, there are some questions about what happened there. And did they really cross the line? So AJ, I think you need to do some auditing with where are you now? We're clearly still trying to engage in democracy, but you know what? I'm also not condemning fucking shit about what people would say are the non-democratic shit happening in like Minnesota. The way whenever people tell me about the horrible things ICE are going through, good, occupying forces should not be comfortable.
Yeah, do it more. Do it
right.
more.
Like, oh, bummer. Oh no.
Yeah, if you find him in a hotel, make sure nobody sleeps in that hotel. I think that's great. If you can disrupt their vehicles in a way that doesn't hurt anybody, that should be done.
Totally legal, we're saying.
It's
guys,
yes.
I mean, it should be so clear to the terms of service here. Totally
Absolutely.
legal ways.
In ways that are peaceful and productive and do nothing but hurt their operations, not their operatives.
Yeah, but find my alternative social media on a
things.
Tor browser somewhere. I'm just kidding. I don't even have a Tor browser.
Something about the machine becoming so odious that you must throw your very body against the gears to stop the turning and to break the levers. That whole thing is what I'm talking about. Absolutely do that. And also,
all right, Jay, we'll talk to you later, bud.
Take care, Jay.
All right,
there's a place in the revolution for everybody. And not everybody can be out there on those front lines, and not everybody is capable of putting their body in harm's way, and not everybody is going to be useful there. Sometimes you're going to be better. Yes, send me out there. You pick. I'm real long and skinny.
Forrest is going to arrest Donald Trump in November. He's by the power given to me by the line, I'm here on behalf of the line.
You're deputizing me as the guy to do it. But yeah, find ways to engage in your community, y'all. Donate to food banks.
Prison, right?
Help. Dude, they're
gonna play that at our fascist tribunal, that kangaroo court. We end up
shocked
if
we are not already on a list. I know I'm on a list, but at least I'm not on the fucking Epstein list. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's certainly not over 1 million times like Donald Trump, evidently.
Speaking of which, we have one person waiting to support Donald Trump.
Well, let's do another call, 4 calls before we bring them on. Hey, MAGA, we want to talk to you. 336-543-2101.
Interrupted me to do the thing that I was doing.
I know you've been champing at the bit.
My bits are champed indeed, Squire, but like I was going to say,
that shirt is more sheer than you realize.
But I would like some more
bumpy ass areolas.
Yeah, don't talk about my BAAs.
He's a sheep. By the way, people complaining about how I said Ian McClellan. I do that often. People don't like that I don't hit the L hard enough in Gandalf. I sometimes it sounds like I say Gandalf. So maybe I've just put the L from Gandalf into Ian McClellan. I've just added it before the E. And listen, guys, here's the thing. I want to put effort into fixing those pronunciations, except I don't, so I'm not going to. Okay, MAGA, we'd love to talk to you. Call in and tell us why we're wrong about socialism. Call in and tell us why we're wrong about Trump. Call in and tell us why God exists. Tell us why we should seek a Christian nation. Do you believe that America should be or is a Christian nation? We'd love to hear from you. That phone number is 336-543-2101. 336-543-2101. All right. You go ahead and you get that call going. I know you
All
want.
right. Yeah, no, I have some pointed questions. Let's talk to Dimitri, who is also an independent, who says that they support Trump. Dimitri, you were on the line with Forrest and Jimmy. How are you doing today? You're not actually on the line, turns out. That's you're saying that.
Doing good, man. How y'all doing?
Just fine.
All right.
Do you remember the intro questions to ask him?
Oh yeah, what's your name? What's your age and pronouns? Is that what it is? I'm watching a lot more Joe.
Yeah, how old are you, Dimitri?
I'm 36.
36. And Dimitri, for the 1,600 people watching live right now, would you prefer they call you a he, a she, a they, or something else?
Man, I'm a dude.
Right. So the question was, would you prefer they call you a he, a she, a they, or something else?
I'm just a regular man. That's what it is.
Okay, so the options would be A, he, B, she, D, they, or C, rather they, or D, something else.
You can call me a man. That's it. I mean,
right. But that man isn't a pronoun. So I just want to
really like this because it makes it so clear why you support Donald Trump.
Dimitri, it's not a hard question, and it's if you can just answer, we can move on. So Dimitri, you're 36 years old. Yeah. Are you trans, first of all? Yes or no?
Hell no.
Okay, hell no, you're not. And are you non-binary? Yes or no?
Nah, dog, I'm a regular man. I was born a man.
All right, great. So that means that the two pronouns that you are most likely needing to choose from are he or she. So now I've brought it down to so easy for you. Dimitri, would you prefer the chat refer to you as a he or a she? And then we can move on.
I'll play along.
Great.
I'll play a game. I'm a he. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dimitri's
Weird that you
pronouns he,
consider,
him.
yeah,
Moving
weird that
on.
you consider that playing along. It is first grade grammar.
Dimitri, in the last 3 elections with Donald Trump, who did you vote for? And then I'm going to give you back to Forrest.
Trump.
All 3 times, or did you at some point vote Hillary, Biden, or perhaps even skip?
No, it was Trump every time.
All 3 times. The independent 3-time Trump voter. All right, you go ahead, Forrest.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
Dimitri,
I
wanted to take.
Am I mistaken, or the independents been voting for Trump as a overall period?
I'm a registered independent, and I've never voted for Trump, nor would I ever vote for Trump.
No, I mean not by you, but by percentage-wise, right?
I'm not sure. Do you know off the top of your head, Jimmy, if independents more or less went to Trump?
In the last election, he made gains with independents, but no, in the election with Biden, both Biden and Hillary, I believe, won independents. Hillary lost because of independents in a couple of specific states and lost only by a couple tens of thousands of votes, but won the election overall by 5 million votes, was it? Yeah, it was 5 million votes because independents did mostly vote for Hillary. Wow. So only in the most recent election can you say he made gains. I don't know that those gains actually meant a majority, but he made gains with independents in the last election.
Sick gains, bro.
That's kind of, you don't really know because independents in Democratic states are like really Democrats, to be honest,
Yeah.
Again,
and we can just say the same thing back to you. Independents in Alabama who vote for Trump. Dimitri, you're an independent in Texas who voted for Trump 3 times. You're really a Republican.
Like that's
no, but I'm originally from California.
I'm an independent in Oklahoma, which is like the most Trumpiest state in the union, and I can tell you, I'm damn sure not a fucking Republican.
Which part of California are you from, Dimitri?
See, you say you're damn sure not a Republican. So how are you independent? Obviously, you're Democrat. That's what I'm
no wonder he did not understand the non-binary question before.
It's wild to me how much you were making it very obvious that you voted for Donald Trump. Like, you didn't have to tell us you voted for Donald Trump. We could have this exact same conversation, and you not understanding how voter rules work or what pronouns are.
Dimitri, I'm going to find out how much you understand the words you're saying. So we could give you something that all Democrats. Hang on, I'll give it to you after this. I'll give it to you after this, Dimitri.
It's referring to
Dimitri. The question that I'm going to ask you is going to be enlightening for you and make you get it. So if you asked us what's one thing that unifies all Republicans, there's an answer to that, at least in theory. What the difference between a Republican and a Democrat should be. So similarly, and this would be the case would be Republicans believe in a strong state government, weak federal government. Democrats supposed to believe in a strong federal government and not actually weak state governments, but not as strong as the federal government, more overarching. What is the one thing that all independents believe?
You asked me for my opinion or?
No. Because you were shocked that he says he's an independent. So
no, I wasn't shocked.
What is the unifying thing? What is the unifying belief of all independents?
I don't know. You tell me.
There isn't one. Independent just means not Republican or Democrat. So an independent can be a socialist. They can even be a fascist. They can be a communist. They can be a dumb Republican. I know you know that, Dimitri. They can be a dumb Democrat.
Now can I say what I wanted to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying exactly what I was just saying, that there's some Democrats that consider themselves independents, but they're only independents in name only.
Right. Same with Republicans.
Hold on, your co-host just said, I'm an independent, but I'm damn sure no Republican. So what else could he be but a Democrat? This is a two-party.
An independent. An independent is the
My
party.
guy.
I just
My guy,
In name only.
there's no such thing as
and just to be clear-
independent is not a party.
and just to be clear,
I didn't say that
Dimitri,
was.
by your logic, if that is what you're saying, then you are not an independent either. You are a Republican.
No,
I don't
voted
know
for
how
Obama.
you don't see.
So,
I voted
Okay.
for Obama.
so,
So,
And-
how are
So you
telling
only
me that
vote
I'm not
for-
an independent?
so you only vote for the loudest man in the room every time. Weird brag.
Weird.
Well, I was 18 when I voted for Obama. That was
You
my
were
first
what?
vote. I was 18. That
Mhm.
was my very
Okay.
first vote.
Yes, you're very
And as
compelled
I
by
got
what is
wiser-
popular. Hey, what part of California are you from, by the
as
way?
I got. Whoa, hold on. Trump wasn't popular. Didn't he lose 2020?
Are you joking? Trump
Didn't
was
he lose
very
2020?
popular amongst
He's
a
a-
group of people, and he was
No,
the
but you
loudest.
said the biggest.
Biden-
no,
Literally
you
a
said the
fucking
biggest
Biden,
popular.
man in the
nobody
room.
was excited about Biden. Nobody had a cult
Okay,
following
but
like
hold on,
Biden.
hold on.
Biden and
You're moving the
Obama
goalposts.
and Trump
You're
both
moving the
had
goalposts.
cult followings. So you
You're moving
vote
the
for
goalposts.
No, I'm not. It's literally the exact
You said I
same.
voted for
I
the
am
biggest
saying
man in the room
you
every
vote.
time.
I said the biggest mouth
I
in the room,
voted
but if
for
you'd
a
like that
loser in
further
2020.
explained, oh my God, Dimitri, shut the fuck up when I'm talking. If you'd like that further explained,
Oh, here
you
goes the
join.
liberal rage.
I'm not a liberal.
Go ahead.
You
No,
join
nobody here is a
political
liberal.
cults. No, I'm not. What's
Go
a
ahead.
liberal? Define liberal.
You.
Define it.
What do liberals believe?
You.
Define liberals.
At this current stage, liberal is everything that Trump don't like. They go the other way.
No, it isn't. That's not the
That's not
definition
even
of
true.
liberal.
buddy.
That's
That's
not even
the
true.
definition of
That's where you're at,
liberal.
buddy.
You are
Yeah.
Dimitri.
Dimitri, at this point,
Do you know
it's
what the-
like I said earlier, it is very obvious why you voted for Trump. You don't know literally anything about anything, and you're just voting on vibes. But I
No,
wanted to ask
no,
you
the
about the
rea-
thing
can
that
I
you put
explain
in the
myself?
call screen. Because what you have in the call screen here is that you voted for Trump and you support Trump because the country is getting further away from God, and that's what you care about the most. That's what you wrote here, or at
That's
least
such
what
a
I
good
have
day,
from our
Reddy.
screener, right?
I did.
So what I would like to know, first of all, I'm assuming you're talking about the Christian God, right?
I am Christian. Yes.
Okay, great. Can you please explain to me what Christian values, what Christ-like characteristics Trump exhibits?
Embodies.
Embodies. That's a good word
Okay.
for it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even going to answer that question.
Yeah, I know
I'm
you're
gonna
not.
tell
Yeah, you are.
why.
Yeah, you are, because you're on our show. And you said that America is moving further away from God, and that's why you support Trump. So I'm curious to know how Christian
No. I
is
didn't
Donald
say
Trump.
America.
How does Trump
Hold on.
represent Christianity?
First of all, you guys are misquoting me. I said America
Oh, no,
under the
I literally
Democrats.
just asked you if that's what you said, and you said yes.
No, I said America under the Democrats is moving away from God. That's what
Okay,
I
how
said.
does Donald Trump get
Okay.
us closer to God than Democrats do?
Well, Democrats try to take God out of the what's it called, Pledge of Allegiance. Did they not?
No.
No.
Wait, no, they
Also,
legitimately didn't. And by the way,
also-
they should.
I'm willing to bet
They
you
tried
don't
to.
know where the Pledge of Allegiance even comes from or anything about that. But like, what's most important to me is
Okay,
that
well, we're not
you're talking about
the history of the Pledge of Allegiance. We're
no, but
talking
it is
about
important.
Democrats try
But
to
it is
take out
important
of
when
the-
you bring it up. When you bring it up and you don't know the fact that it didn't have under God in it originally. It was made in, I believe, the 1950s. And then during the Cold War, they added under God into it to separate us from communist Russia and all these things. And so it has
Okay.
always been a political indoctrination tool, which is violating the
Okay,
First
hold on.
Amendment. But that's neither here
'Cause
nor
if you
there.
wanna go
What's more
back
important is
historically-
that isn't something that
if you wanna
Democrats
go back
wanted in the first
historically, we can
place.
talk about it.
And meanwhile,
I do
you've
wanna go back
got Donald
historically.
Trump, who I would like to talk about
you-
because that's the person you're supporting.
No, we'll get to it. I have no problem getting to it. But what I'm saying is you're trying to paint like America wasn't founded on Christian values.
It was.
Correct, it
Somehow in
wasn't.
1950
Correct,
they
it
did.
wasn't.
was.
There's an
And-
incredible
and
book. There's an incredible
the-
book called The Founding Myth by Andrew Seidel that you'd probably benefit a lot from reading. It is in fact correct that America was not founded on Christian values. It was founded on Enlightenment values. Many of the founding fathers weren't just not Christian, they were anti-religion and anti-Christian in many ways. So regardless
Okay,
of
and
whether
that's
it was
according
values
to
or not.
who?
And you can say founded on values. It was also the first secular constitution in the world. And the places where it brings up religion is to say keep religion out of the government. It
also
establishes
have-
the separation of church and
Okay,
state.
but
We
the
also
key
have, just
word
to be
is
extra clear,
value.
we still have
Mhm.
the Treaty of Tripoli, which was signed in 1796 by President John Adams, one of the founding fathers of this country, which says America is in no way founded on the Christian religion or based on the Christian religion. It says that immediately in that text.
Well,
So, like,
that's
you can
fine.
try to
That's fine
paint
if
that
one
that
man said
you
that.
can try to say
No,
that
One man.
XYZ
that's fine if
thing.
one man
You can
said
try
that.
to say
Hey,
that
look,
Dimitri, wait,
XYZ
wait.
thing is a
You guys
Christian
over
I
value.
want to quiz him on what you just said. Forrest, Dimitri, which man said that? He just told you. Which
Didn't he just
man
say Sam
specifically?
Adams?
Who?
Samuel
Didn't he
Adams.
just say-
Yes, the beer guy.
didn't he
The
just
beer
say-
guy said
The
it.
best
The beer
loggers in
guy.
America.
The beer guy. No, it was John
Yeah,
Adams.
so what does that
Who
have to do
was
with anything?
who was
Look, you
John
guys are
Adams,
trying to, like,
Dimitri? Hey, John.
get me
Hey,
off
Dimitri.
my
Dimitri.
square, but
Dimitri. Who
it's
was
not
John
working.
Adams? Who was John Adams, Dimitri?
Wait, hold on. Why do you guys get to just throw me off? And
Who
change
was
the
John
topic
Adams,
whenever
Dimitri?
you guys want,
Dimitri,
but when
do you-
I'm
do you know-
trying to make a point,
Do you know,
you just talk
Dimitri?
over me.
I just need to make sure you're grasping the point, Dimitri. I will
Because
say
we're
that this
getting
call has
further and
been
further away
this
from
call
my
has been
original
extremely
point
this
that
call
the
has been
original point is
extremely useful to me because I have a lot of stress dreams at night where I lose one of my hands and then I go around and I'm a one-handed man. And I'm getting a little bit of comfort that should I ever reach that day, I'll still be able to count to your IQ on my hands.
I mean, what do you want, a cookie for that? I don't get it.
I know you don't get it. No one is surprised you don't get it. The
I
reason
don't
why
get
we
it
keep
was
getting
the
to throw you
best
off,
yeah, you guys,
response.
it is the
guys
funniest
wanna
possible way he could respond
You
to that.
could not
the
have
reason
answered that.
why
call people
I have
stupid
to
and all this
pay. I'd have
because
to
we're
pay
talking about
somebody.
real arguments,
Usually, I
and I'm
feel
not
to say
I
letting
want
you
something.
to be
take me to
very
where
clear,
you
really
are.
quickly.
That's fine.
Dimitri, before I get back to the point that I was making that you fucking couldn't keep up with, could you please just let our audience know, did we
That's your
ask
word.
you to call in or pay you to call in or anything like that, or did you call in of your own free will?
Exactly. I called it my own free will.
Thank
One
you
day
so
someone's
much. I
going to
appreciate it
lie. They're
because
going to be like,
we-
you know what? I'm going to
we
pretend to be paid.
We get people who think that we pay people like you to call in to make us look good, and I just want to be very clear.
Yeah.
You are being this ridiculous on your own. So back to what I was saying anyway.
How did I make
Are you going
that
to take
look
credit
good?
for
You're
that
telling
bit too?
us-
I mean,
You're telling us,
you know what?
that
Let me tell you something.
Democrats are
Hold on,
taking
let me-
America
hold on,
away
hold on, let me
from
tell you something.
Christianity,
Because y'all
Hang
been
on,
and I'm
Forrest, let
curious
me
to
tell you
know
something.
how are
Let
Republicans
me say
getting us
something.
back to Christianity? What is the
This is what
Christian
y'all
thing about
liberals do.
Republicans?
We're not liberals.
You guys,
We're not
you guys
liberals.
are funny, man.
We're not liberals.
still not
You said
liberals.
this is what liberals do.
We're
not liberals.
Me, calling me low IQ. This is
Okay,
this is
Dimitri.
the party of love and inclusion, man. I love it.
I'm not a
Go ahead.
liberal. I'm not of the party
Yeah.
of love and inclusion.
Oh,
I'm
you
not a
are,
liberal.
bro.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
You
Dimitri,
earlier you
asked me
couldn't
for my
define.
pronouns, you are, bro.
Hey, what's
If you
what's the
Dimitri, we
definition?
still don't-
Hey,
Mark,
what's
and
what's
even
the
start, you
definition of
definitely
liberal,
the party of
Dimitri?
inclusion, my guy.
Hey,
He
Dimitri,
still
remember
doesn't
when you
know.
melted down last time? I asked you the definition of liberal. Did you want to return to it now that you're using it again?
Telling me I'm stupid. You're the one
Hey, buddy,
calling
what's
me low IQ. I didn't say nothing bad about you. Except
what's
that
the
you're a liberal.
definition of liberal?
But you're the one like I can.
Oh,
count
I
your
actually,
IQ on
you
one
say
hand.
nothing bad about
Come
me.
on, my
I
guy.
actually consider liberal an insult. What is the definition of liberal?
I'll tell you what. You're the poster boy.
What's the definition
You
of
still
it?
don't know what it is. You still don't know what it is.
The definition of liberal is asking
Yeah.
somebody before you even talk to them what their pronoun is.
Oof, that's not
That's
it.
what-
I'm afraid
yeah,
you have
still
failed, Dimitri.
wrong,
For
unfortunately, because a lot of liberals don't do that.
$5,000, what is the definition of liberal?
You too.
Oof, I'm sorry. You now owe us $5,000.
I would like to get
Yeah,
back to the
okay.
question that I've been asking Dimitri this whole time. How exactly
You
does
too.
Donald
You're the
Trump
one
make
that took
America
us
more
off topic
Christian?
with your Samuel Adams topic.
Samuel,
It still
no
wasn't-
one said
I
Samuel
can't stress
Adams,
enough. I
but
can't
you.
stress enough. It still wasn't Samuel Adams. It was John Adams, the second president of the United States. I don't think you know the
Hey,
difference,
wow.
but I want to ask you the
Wow.
question. What is Donald Trump doing
Wow.
to get America more Christian? What Christian
Well, we're
tenets,
saying
what
Merry
Christian
Christmas
morality?
again.
First of all,
What
he
is
just
Christian
announced-
about Donald Trump?
Oh, that too. He just announced we're going to rededicate this country to God, didn't he not?
By doing what?
So,
How are we doing it specifically?
He's
Don't
going to
be
have
abstract.
a ceremony in Washington, and he's going
To do
to
what?
rededicate the country to God.
And then what will be different after that?
What do you mean? I'm talking about is that not more Christian than
No, that's a
Kamala?
symbolic
in
gesture
all
of
fairness-
nothing. That's saying
in
a
all
prayer.
fairness-
We already do that shit all the time.
actually, I'm actually gonna side with Dimitri on this one. That is more Christian. It's performative bullshit that accomplishes absolutely nothing while we continue to do heinous, immoral, evil things in this country, but we pretend we're all self-righteous about it. So that is a Christian thing. Yeah,
That is
sure.
a Christian thing, but that's not more Christian than we're already being. That's the kind of
No, it's not.
Christian.
But
That's
it is
the
a Christian
Christian
thing.
You know what?
posturing that he already
let's
does.
talk about that.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk
it.
about that.
Let's talk about it.
What are we doing that's so heinous compared to
MAGA,
these
you
other
got
countries
better than
around the
this,
world?
right? Can you send us your best? This is
I'm sorry. Did you ask me?
336
Did you ask me what we're
543
doing?
This guy.
Did you ask me what we're doing that's wrong as a country?
No, because you said we're so heinous.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We're the greatest
it rhymes
country
with
in the
anus.
world. So
Nah,
what are we doing?
Did you say we're what in the world? I can't
The
hear you
greatest
because
country
Jimmy
in the
won't
world.
fucking Jimmy, shut the fuck up! I can't hear. What are you saying, Dimitri?
well now I'm
What
going
is
to do it more.
What is it that we are?
We're the greatest country in the world.
I heard him fine.
By what metric?
What
Billionaire
metric you wanna
healthcare.
talk? I mean, we got the highest GDP.
Mm.
Right.
Is that what makes us great?
Some of our states
Is
are
that
like
we
top
have a
5
lot of money?
GDP. No, I know our Constitution was based on England, but we're the number one, democracy in the world. Would you not say democracy?
We're the number one democracy in the world.
By which you were supposed to be presenting metrics here, but by what metric are we the number one democracy in the world?
I mean, what metric do you want? I don't get it.
Well, how can
You
we answer
made the
your
claim.
question when we disagree? Why do you want us to do
said
your
we were
homework
great.
for you?
I
Did I
want to
say
know
we have the
what
highest
makes us so
GDP?
great. And you still haven't told us what makes Donald Trump so Christian or what makes Democrats so anti-Christian.
Well, Democrats support trans, right?
Trans people. So not all Democrats do, but yes, a lot of the Democratic Party does tend to support like basic fucking biology, like the fact that trans people
Joe
exist.
Biden was pretty pro-trans, also Christian. I don't know if you knew that.
I love how you
He's a
frame
Catholic.
that you guys support basic biology, but you guys have more genders than just more than two genders. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so Dimitri, for reasons that you will not understand, I guarantee I have experience in this area. You don't know what genders are, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to get at here is that Donald
according
Trump
to
is a
the Democrats,
terrible example.
Gender.
Donald Trump is a terrible example of Christian values and morals. The Democrats that you keep talking about are far more Christian.
Come on, let me get something in here real quick. I was making fun of you, Dimitri. I don't really have anything to say.
What about you just said though? Hold on, you just said he's not a good representative of Christian values, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, here's the funny thing.
Not the ones that
Throughout the
Christians
Bible-
talk about in this country.
Hold on,
Your ears work better than your brain. Yeah.
Hold on. Throughout the Bible.
Hold on to what?
I said throughout the Bible,
Yeah.
it shows that everybody
Pedophiles and rapists are great, and so Donald Trump's a good Christian. I agree. I'm done with engaging this in any good faith. He's not done it. Hey, what are we doing with
I
screening
would
those
like
calls?
to try to let him get a little more of a word out so that I can just show
what I'm
the
saying.
people
Can I
But
listening.
then you let him
what we're
go
actually
with the
talking about.
gender thing. You didn't even take. When you didn't take that, I was like, oh, I guess we're done with them. But all right.
Well, I'm not going to get into a science conversation with the man. The man does not know what genders are.
I was so
guarantee that
excited
he
for
doesn't.
that.
Are y'all
one.
gonna let
I
me
was just
finish
trying to
my
stick to the
thing, or
main thing that I've been trying to ask this whole time is about why is Donald Trump Christian? Why is Donald Trump the guy who's getting America close to God? That's all I want to talk about. I'm happy to do a
I'm trying to
transphobia
get
call
to
later on.
that, but I keep getting interrupted.
Bummer.
Yeah,
Can
Jimmy.
Can I finish?
It's
Can I
climate
finish?
change.
All right,
Climate
so
change
look,
did it.
all throughout the Bible,
It's
God
really hard not to
uses
do it again.
imperfect people to accomplish his goals. Trump is no different. He's not perfect. I don't agree with everything he does, says, or whatever.
I love imperfect.
But-
Was Hitler just an imperfect person? God was using Hitler. He was imperfect.
Okay,
I'd say
you
he
guys
killed
love
too
to-
many Jews.
You guys love to equate Trump to Hitler, but
I do.
Come on,
It is just simply because they are both Nazi fascists. But like the question is, if
people
you're
died during
saying
the
that Trump is just an imperfect person
Hold on, how
who's
many people
accomplishing
died
these
during the
goals,
Holocaust?
why not?
How many people
Why
died?
not,
No. Let's
Dimitri,
stay there.
use
Let's
somebody
stay there. How
who
many people died
isn't
during
a
the Holocaust?
rapist and a
Wait,
pedophile
Dimitri,
and a
why-
con artist to accomplish these same
I don't want to
goals?
talk about the real.
How imperfect do we have to go?
Dimitri, you have to finish. You have to finish answering his questions. You have to finish, Dimitri. You're the one, Dimitri. You're trying to move on from the topic prior. I'm excited to talk to you about how Trump is Hitler. So, Dimitri, finish off the prior topic. Don't accuse us of trying to run when you're actively trying to run right now. Finish off the topic, and then I'm excited to talk to you about the parallels between Hitler and Trump.
Okay, what do you want me to finish? Because y'all keep interrupting me and talking about a different subject, and then telling me I'm the one.
I have asked you the same question for 20 minutes, Dimitri.
Yeah, and every time I try to answer it, you interrupt me.
I don't think I've interrupted you really once.
I doubt that very much.
Like I said,
not seriously.
Throughout the Bible, there's
they use. I am now interrupting you. They use somebody who's imperfect to do imperfect things. I heard you say that. My follow-up question to that was,
are any you two perfect?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
No, I am. Yeah.
If God wanted to use somebody imperfect to do perfect things, he could have picked somebody who's maybe a little less imperfect. Because here's to use somebody imperfect to do godly's thing, whatever the fucking God's great plan.
Are you familiar with the story of Saul?
I wrote it.
The question, yes,
I'm actually God.
I am. The question
because
is,
Saul literally
is that
Saul literally
Trump is neither doing anything. Trump is
God.
neither doing anything that can be called Christ-like. He is not doing anything that could be called Christian. And also,
Forrest thinks this is going to be the point that makes Dimitri engage in good faith. I thought you had better instincts when to give up on this.
I just want to give him the chance to even hear it. Is all. That Donald Trump is not doing anything Christian.
How
he is
dare
not a
you?
good person, and you have a pedophile, rapist, Nazi loser who is doing evil shit, protecting pedophiles and making America more fascist. And you're saying that this is using an imperfect person to do good things. He is neither a good enough representative of your God, nor is what he's doing anywhere close to what your religion says to do. You are full of shit, Dimitri.
Let me know when I can get in. Go ahead. Let me know when I can get in.
Okay, no. Keep waiting then, please. Forrest, what did you have for breakfast today? No. I'm going to let you know. Hey, Forrest, what did you have for breakfast today?
Actually, not a lot. I had to drive into fucking Stillwater for a bloodborne pathogen training, so I had to eat like a breakfast burrito on the road. It was awful.
Can you guess what I had?
What'd you have?
Cold steak. Cold steak, buddy.
I mean, it's
medium,
I thought you were
rare,
Girl Scout cookies.
lean sirloin. I don't eat gluten, Dimitri. And Dimitri, you were not told that this is now your time to chime in. You said we could tell you when it's your time to chime in, and I did not say it. So I don't know why you're offering terms that you don't even intend to follow. Dimitri, what'd you have for breakfast? This is your turn to chime in.
Are you sure? Is it okay? Can I talk?
Yeah. Was it a big bowl of Trump dicks? Dickos.
Trump dicks.
Are they short and stubby and mushroom shaped?
You're funny, man. You're funny,
this guy didn't get the fingers thing earlier, but a nice good dick joke that tickles him.
That's the liberal rage in you. That's all right.
Not a liberal.
You still don't know what liberals are. It's wild to me that, like, since the beginning of this call, Dimitri, you have demonstrated you don't know what pronouns are, you don't know what genders are, you don't know what liberals are, you don't know what independents are, you don't know how voting or political parties work, and now you still don't know what Christian values are or how Donald Trump is embodying them or even advancing them as a non-perfect person. It sounds to me, as Jimmy said earlier, you just like big, loud, charismatic men who tell you what to believe.
Is this what you guys do? Just lie about all your
I'm not going to tell you. You have to watch the shows. You got to go watch and find out.
I don't have to lie.
No
There's 25 miserable minutes of you on this fucking channel showing that you don't know what any of these things are. And all I keep trying to ask you is just, if Donald Trump is the imperfect person that God is using, then why is all the things he's doing still so anti-Christian? He is a pedophile, rapist Nazi who is advancing pedophile, rapist Nazi agendas. He is protecting pedophiles. He is protecting criminals. He is protecting billionaires. He's protecting everybody that Jesus Christ said he hated. And also, he is advancing fascism and spreading his Gestapo throughout America to round up non-white people and put them in concentration camps. So what the fuck about this is getting the country closer to God, Dimitri?
Let's stay right there. You said you don't lie. What proof do you have that he's a pedophile?
It's this fun little things called. I've got proof for you, Dimitri. It's this crazy thing called the words he said with his own stupid mouth. Like when he was on a radio show saying that he walks into the changing room of his Miss USA pageants and there's naked women getting changed back there, including teenagers, and he gets to do it because he's the owner and it's all great. He gets to see these beautiful bodies all the time. It's the time that he told a 10-year-old girl that he would be dating her in 10 years. It's the time that he said that if his daughter wasn't related to her, he'd be dating her too. And when his daughter was a baby, he said on camera that he hopes she grows up to have her mother's tits. There's also this whole new thing coming out called the Epstein Files, where he is named over 1 million times. And he has dedicated time and money beyond anybody's imagination to just redact his own name from these files.
Hey, real quick, Dimitri. Hey, Dimitri, real quick. You live in Texas, you said, right? Man. Well, you're going to get to stick to whatever you want. I'm positive you have a sticky ass life. You'll get to stick in a minute. Okay, Dimitri, you live in Texas, right?
What he's talking about.
I get it. We're going to get there. I got to do a vibe check real quick, Dimitri. You live in Texas, right? I live in Texas. I'm good with saying it. I live in the Austin area. Do you live in the Austin area, Dallas area? Like, what part of Texas do you live in?
Houston.
Houston? And who is our governor?
What's his name? Abbott.
And who are our senators?
I don't know. I just moved here. Just
when did you move? You just moved here from California?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the governor of California? This should be easy.
Oh, you talking about Newsom? Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
And where in California did you move from?
The Bay Area.
Be a little more specific. Like what town? What city?
I mean, San Francisco area. I don't know.
The San Francisco area. Who are the senators? I actually mentioned one earlier in this show. Who are the senators from California?
Man, you taking me way off topic, man.
Right. But if you could just answer that real quick. No, I'm just doing a vibe check. I'm doing a vibe check because you're talking down to us a lot, like you know about this country and you know everything. So who are your senators?
I'm talking down to y'all.
Yeah. Who are your senators?
That's funny.
Well, I can name my senators. Can you name yours? And I'm not even sweating. I'm literally farming at the same time we're talking. California. Who are your California senators? You've been Googling all this time. See if you could fill some time. You don't know. Bummer. It feels like something you should know. If you're going to be a political loudmouth, I guess. I just wanted to see. Who is your mayor?
That's fine.
Who is the mayor of San Francisco?
Man, this guy. Are we talking about San Francisco or are we talking about our topic?
San Francisco.
I don't live there no more, bro. I don't care who.
Yeah, but you just moved there. You said you don't know your local politics in Texas because you just moved from California. So which one do you know? Do you know your Texas ones or do you know your California ones?
This is funny. This is funny, dude. What you talking about, right?
I'm stoked.
Yeah,
I'm stoked.
You need a mayor,
the
senator, the governor. This is the thing about California. It don't matter who it is. They all the same.
And yet you can't name them to be able to defend that.
Oh, I lived there to defend it. I don't know what you mean.
You don't know who they are or what their policies are. So, for example, the mayor of San Francisco, I think his name is Whitmire. No, that's Houston. It's Daniel Luria is the San Francisco.
Wait, hold on. Don't brush past that now. He was trying to, I didn't know shit, and he don't even know. And
excuse me, excuse me. Wait. I said the mayor of San Francisco is Whitmire. Oh, wait. No, that's Houston.
All you wanna
San
do is
Francisco
change the
is,
subject
excuse
every
me,
time,
excuse
man.
me. Dimitri, all right, I got to mute you because I don't want to brush past it. I want to draw attention to it. You said let's not brush past that. And just so people know what I'm up to on my, I almost want to share. I'm farming at the same point in the game 7 Days to Die because that's how little of my attention Dimitri warrants. Okay, so I said Whitmire. Wait. No, that's Houston because we talked about Houston, which is where he lived now. So I accidentally said his current mayor. And then I said the mayor of San Francisco would be Loria, which was his past one. So it isn't that I didn't know. It's that we were talking about 2 mayors and I accidentally said the wrong one first. And then I immediately corrected it. So I indeed, Dimitri, would like to make sure we don't brush past that. I would like to make sure that we both don't brush past the fact that I know both of your mayors. And you can't name a single local official beyond the governor. And that's really only because they're kind of celebrity governors. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that if you were from like, I don't know, fucking Kansas or something, and I don't even hold my side. I only think you have to know the governor of Kansas when you call in. If you call in from Kansas and start talking about the differences in the policies and who's right and who's wrong and that sort of thing, you don't know literally any of your local politics, but you want to tell us about who's a liberal, what's right, what's wrong, what the independent party is. You don't even know the differences between Republicans and Democrats. You just know what team you're on. You pretend to be an independent, but you're MAGA, right? Like, so Dimitri, as we bring you back, I just want to know very plainly, Dimitri, that's the unmute sound. If you just answer this question, what percentage of the sex that you've had was consensual?
You're a clown.
Thank you
What are we
for
talking about
being
right
a
now, man?
friend. And now we move on. You want one of these? I bet one of these other people will engage honestly. But that last guy, it was very clear how that call was always going to go within a minute of it. What'd you say?
Yeah, that's how you were going to take it within a minute of it for sure.
Okay,
I want to try.
I caused that. You're right, Forrest. I caused that.
Hey, I'm just saying, I was doing a thing.
He acted so differently in the first minute when asked about pronouns than he did in the last one. Shut the fuck up, Forrest. I love you, but shut the fuck up.
I don't think that he did. But like at the end of the
There's
day,
no point.
At the end of the, I think there was a point. And
well,
we're
I think we got it. Exposing how dumb people who are MAGA are. I think we got one.
I'm going to do the exact same question
for
Travis. Who
I bet Travis will actually do it in good faith.
And saying that Trump is furthering Christianity in America. Let's talk to Travis and see how far we get.
Travis's pronouns are he, him. Awesome. Travis, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Travis is 31. That means that you were eligible to vote in at least the last 2 elections. Were you also able to vote? No, not in Hillary versus Trump, right? Or yeah, you were. Yeah,
no.
You've been 19.
I'll take responsibility for it. I voted for Trump the first time.
And what about the second time?
No, I did not vote for him the second time.
Who'd you vote for?
I think I ended up voting for an independent candidate. I don't recall. I didn't like Kamala Harris.
So you didn't vote Biden. Well, Kamala didn't run. Kamala's vice president in 2020, but so you didn't vote for Biden in 2020?
Excuse me. I'm talking about the most recent time.
Okay. So did you ever vote for Biden?
No, I did not.
So you voted Trump, then and then somebody else.
I voted Trump. I didn't vote the second time he ran because I just moved and wasn't able to register there, and I didn't bother with the mail-in ballot from my previous address. I just missed the vote in the second time. So when I say I voted for him the first time, I voted for him the first time he was running against Hillary.
All right. Now you guys have a special time. I'm probably going to antagonize people in the chat who are whining. Your fans are here. Yeah. That's always gross. Actually, I'm going to keep farming.
Okay. So I just want to know. You said Trump is furthering Christianity in America, but not the correct version of Christianity, and the issue is the bastardization of Christianity. So tell me, what kind of Christian are you?
Well, I mean, I kind of like to consider myself a Christian philosophist. I'm not. I've gone back and forth with my faith in recent years, But ultimately, I come back to the message of Jesus Christ. You know, what he was saying to his followers, what he was commanding of people who claim to be his followers. And I think that is a good message. I think that is a message we should uphold and that we should further. But that is not, I think, the version that the MAGA crowd is interested in furthering.
I agree with that.
I think this mode where they're not worshiping Jesus, they're worshiping John Wayne. And I can't claim responsibility for that comparison. That's a book that I recently started reading, but it's about evangelical Christianity and how far from the mark it has come in the last 50 years, really. And you know,
so
when I say the bastardization of Christianity, sorry, go ahead.
No, I apologize for interrupting you, but I was doing something while you were answering, Jimmy, so I just wanted to double check. You did not vote for Trump in this last election, nor would you. Is that correct?
No, I didn't. I am made uncomfortable by his actions and the things that he says.
And you do not currently support Donald Trump right now?
Oh, currently, no. I cannot in good conscience do so.
Well, then we're going to have a completely different conversation that I thought we were going to have. So, Jimmy, I guess this is all you then.
Bitch, I'm farming.
Hey, I'm just saying.
The chat is saying I have to be quiet and let you speak, and I don't want to talk over. You were going to
white
cishet voices. It's enough. Right? They've seen enough oppression, and I'm not gonna stand for it.
It's bad. I mean, at the end of the day, Travis, if you and I don't disagree on Donald Trump being a complete piece of shit, then there's nothing for us to talk about there. If you want to talk about Christianity, I'm happy to do that with you. But at the end of the day, it's not the main theme of the show. So is that the conversation you would like to have? Because I'm here for it.
All right. If I have to, I can keep him on his topic.
On what topic? He said that he doesn't support Trump. Neither do we. What topic
What's the right version of Christianity for America?
That's what I just asked.
You said that Donald Trump, yeah, but it sounds better coming out of my mouth. You said that Donald Trump said that Donald Trump is furthering Christianity, but not the correct version. So how does one figure out what the correct version is? And how do you know that what you think is the correct version, considering you've apparently lost that against the majority of Christians? What actually about his version of Christianity makes it the incorrect version?
Well, I think that ultimately, I mean, if you call yourself a Christian, if you call yourself a follower of Christ, it has to come down to, are you living by the tenets that this man, whether you believe he was the Son of God or not, are you living by the tenets that this man put forth 2,000 years ago?
Do you believe that MAGA Christians don't have? Do you believe MAGA Christians don't have verses to point to that sort of like show why there's an exception for immigrants, show how you're supposed to treat specific ways? Because do keep in mind, a Christian isn't a person who follows just the New Testament and the words of Christ. A Christian would also follow that which Christ follows. Christ said, I'm not here to change a tittle. And so while there's shitty stuff in the New Testament, there's a lot in the Old Testament. And what is inconsistent? What is wrong about a Christian saying, I also follow the anti-queer laws, for example, that the Old Testament lays out?
I don't know if there's necessarily, I mean, you know, I don't know if there's just anything necessarily wrong with it. I'll say that. I mean, if you want to live perfectly by the way that you interpret the book, you know, that is ultimately your decision. But I think something that a lot of Christians these days aren't cognizant of is that we're talking about a book that was compiled, you know, 2,000 years ago. It's been translated from Aramaic to Hebrew to Latin to English to you know, the 6 different versions of English that we've gone through, and every time it's been translated and retranslated, something has been, in essence, I don't want to say lost, but changed between those transfers.
So my issue here, Travis, you and I agree on a lot of this thing. The question that I was going to ask you, the question that I'm trying to get to here is, how do you know what is right then? If we agree that the Bible's unreliable, we agree that there's over 40,000 denominations of Christianity, it's highly individualized, it's highly personalized. Every single church on every single street corner has a slightly different version of Christianity that they promote, and Christians in this country, they don't like what this church says, they go to that church, and this one's more open, this one's more hateful, this one's whatever that they like better. At the end of the day, how do you, Travis, know that you have the right kind of Christianity?
You know, I don't know if there is a right kind of Christianity ultimately. I mean, I know that might be kind of a cop out answer, but I feel like the closest I can get to right with the version that I've kind of chosen for myself is that with or without Christianity, am I being an objectively good person? I like to think that I am, and I like to think that that's because of Christian values and teachings that I try to uphold in my life. But
I think you're already starting somewhere false, because there's no such thing as an objectively good person. Morals are subjective. Do you believe that the resurrection of Jesus Christ happened?
Yes, I do.
So you understand then your point to them about the translations and why they need to let that go kind of falls moot, because they can say, well, it would be a smaller miracle to say that these records were preserved in the way they needed to be for us than it would be to say Jesus was resurrected. So you already believe in a miracle that's bigger than the miracle that I believe, which is that my translation is true and has been preserved or even corrected through the ages. So that wouldn't actually be a way to try and reach out or tell a person that they shouldn't put so much weight into their words, right? By the way, that is a common apologetic. That's the one I was raised with, even like any translations, anything that happened actually happened for us, not against us. This is why it's more true, not less. So I think it's kind of a follow-up. I like getting there in a roundabout way that makes people kind of say it. Forrest went straight for the meat and the potatoes.
I do like meat and potatoes.
They're delicious.
I think that
a point.
No, yeah, how dare you? I think honestly that Travis, you're lovely, and we agree on a lot of things. I don't like your religion, and I think that you're holding on to it for bad reasons, but that's neither here nor there. Jimmy, it is ultimately his show, but I hope you can understand, Travis. We've got a guy on the line here who's calling it as an independent, who used to call it as a monarchist, saying democracy is bad, who's saying that equal rights are bad because it allows trans people to do stuff. Only he said it in a really fucking stupid way. And we've also got a guy saying, can you prove atheism, which is just a lot of fun. So, like, I think you and I agree on the fact that Donald Trump's a creep and doesn't deserve to be supported, and the fact that the Bible is an unreliable source of information, and you draw your inspiration from something else that I don't like, and I would love to get into the nitty-gritty with you. It is my job. Like, as for right
just
now,
one quick second. I'm waiting for the live chat to be consistent and say, okay, but Forrest, you really should let Jimmy finish his point.
No, you didn't let me finish mine.
Sorry. Are you guys not consistent in there? I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing them.
I'm doing Travis a favor because you have to fucking talk to you. That's too mean. I'm being a piece of shit on purpose on that. But like, honestly,
I do like people were upset I was mad at you, or they were like, is Jimmy actually mad at him? Because they have no idea what a friendship looks like. Guys, go get real life friends. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can tell your friends to shut the fuck up with a special tone that says we're secret lovers behind the scenes.
There is a different channel called The Line, and we actually do just take all theism calls there, or mainly theism calls. This would be a really genuinely good conversation for one of those shows. And we have actual Bible scholars and people that you can pick these things apart with. And
or you can call me back Thursday, Travis. I would have happily taken you on this because it's intersectional. I'd happily take you on it, but I get it. There's blood in the water.
I only have a few minutes, and I've got to keep
Forrest wants.
But I appreciate you, Travis.
The chum has been sprayed in the water. He wants at it. I understand.
I love spraying chum.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if he's letting you go, you can call me back.
Fair enough. I appreciate y'all taking the time to talk with me. I mean, ultimately, I think the sad thing is that I know a lot of very diehard Trump supporters. I have a lot of them in my life, and the sad thing is that I know these people should be smarter than that. I mean,
Unfortunately, they've
man's
anchored their life
actions
to
and
cult thinking, and that's actually the problem here. And that's when you
Yeah.
call in and talk about it. We're going to talk about more how you are participating in a system that actually empowers and enables that. And that you
enough.
are partially
Fair
responsible for that as you try to make Christianity work instead of letting down this, just letting go of the system that is evil. But I agree, these are cool calls that we've got coming in, so we're gonna pop to those. Though I don't care as much about the monarchist guy. He calls and he's
Oh, I'm gonna
not
take
good
him
at
live.
this.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
guys.
Take care, Travis.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Yes, sir. You too.
Bye. No, I want to talk to more than that. Like I want to talk to Mike first and then Lucian. Those are my ideas. And so I'm just gonna start doing that. Mike, you're on with Forrest and Jimmy. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Hello?
Can you
hear me?
please tell me how old are you?
I'm 47.
Excellent. And it looks like I've got he, him as your pronouns here, so that's perfect. We already got that covered. Wonderful. So the thing that I've got on the screen here, it says, can you prove atheism? And it is from the web caller, which means you type that in yourself. Is that correct?
That's right.
Awesome. And now, can you just tell me, how on earth would anyone prove atheism? Like, what does that mean to prove atheism?
Well, I'm just asking, are you suggesting that it can't be proven?
I think you
I'm
should ask him first,
suggesting that
what
it's-
is atheism?
That was exactly what I was going to ask next if he asked something like that. I'm suggesting that you may have a different idea of what atheism is and what it actually is. So can you please tell me what you think atheism is?
I think of atheism as the positive claim that God does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
there are some atheists who
then-
say that, but generally
Me?
speaking, atheism is simply a lack of belief in a God. So I agree with you
Lack of
that I
belief.
could not possibly prove that no such thing as a God ever exists. What I'm saying is there's no good reason to believe that one does.
No good reason whatsoever. I mean,
No good reason
I would just
whatsoever.
say that if you can't prove it, how could you suggest that there's no good reason to believe the opposite?
Mike, Mike, I can fly with my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it?
No, but that's because there's
Wait, Mike, what's your good reason to not believe it? You tell me if you can't
prove it doesn't
prove that
fly.
I can't fly, why would you dare say that there's no good reason to believe it?
No. Hold on a sec.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Go
good
ahead.
reasons. There's good proof. We know there's proof that humans can't fly. Generally,
No, you don't.
You're a
All
human.
humans everywhere?
You're a
You've
human.
tested all the billions of us?
Testing every human doesn't require for proof.
So you don't know all of the. So you don't know all. By the way, I happen to agree with you, but using your standard of evidence, your own standard works against. Let me finish. Your own standard works against you. If you want to say that our conclusion isn't good because it's not based on enough information because we can't prove your negative claim, then you also can't claim that you don't believe there's a good reason to reject that I can fly. The wording was a little bit spotty, but I fly and you believe it now.
No, that's not true. Like, I mean, we can prove that humans can't fly. We can prove that.
Okay, so if we can prove that God's, if we can prove that stories of gods are often qualities of human storytelling, and that many of them have originated from different cultures at different times, and they follow through about the same cycles, like you're saying, on the basis of what we know about humans, the most reasonable conclusion is I can't fly. If we then do that based on what we know about the history of the invention of gods, we can also say the most reasonable conclusion is that gods don't exist, correct?
No, I would say that's qualitatively different because
magic.
Humans all no. Wait,
I'm not human. Wait. I'm sorry. I made the mistake, Mike. I'm not human.
Well, that's a claim that I just wouldn't believe. You know.
Well, you don't have a good reason not to believe it.
You've never checked.
Very good reasons to not believe it. There's no other human. There's no other creatures on Earth that speak. No. I don't have to check. There's no other creatures on Earth that speak. It's
I'm one of a kind.
Obviously, the best like theory I could have about what you are is that you're human. You know.
There's no other creatures on Earth that can speak except for Jimmy.
Right.
Jimmy
I'm
is
one of a kind.
just as your God is the one exception to the rule that like something can't make something can't come from nothing unless God makes it.
That wasn't what I was gonna say. Hold on. That wasn't what the reason why I was gonna say. I mean, he was making the point that all the stories, all the different cultures have different stories about God. They're all seen to be false.
Mine was much more elegant. Must we reduce my elegance?
The point I was gonna make is that the Christian story is different in many ways than those other mythologies. You know, for example,
not really.
All mythologies have some version of you could say every mythology has something that sets them apart as different. It doesn't make them not mythologies.
No. Well, the reason why Jesus is also, aside from him being a historical figure, a real historical figure who was really crucified by Pontius Pilate, etc.
Right, Muhammad was a historical figure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Buddha was a historical figure.
Is less historic. The historicity of Muhammad is more debatable, I would say.
Incorrect.
Also, but leaving that aside,
very incorrect. We have direct written accounts of people who interacted directly with Muhammad. We have no such things of Jesus.
I can also tell you an even more historical figure. No eyewitness.
Hold on.
Jimmy,
there's no eyewitness
who can fly.
Wait a second. There's no eyewitness. There's no eyewitness testimony of Muhammad. That's not true. There is eyewitness testimony of Jesus.
No, there isn't.
For example,
no, there's not.
You're getting your mythical features correct. We have 0 confirmed eyewitness testimonies of Jesus. And if we're wrong, just tell us where we can find it.
Okay, the Gospel of John.
The Gospel of John is not an eyewitness testimony that is confirmed to have actually been written by John. No, it isn't. Who wrote the Gospels?
Well, the best evidence is that it is written by John.
No, it isn't.
What about,
scholars do not agree with it.
This is just such a stupid fucking train to go on. Mike, what about Satya Sai Baba? Do you believe in him?
He's a person.
Yeah, Satya Sai Baba. He was an Indian guru. He claimed to be the reincarnation of this other great guru. He claimed he died in 2011. He had millions of people that attended his funeral, millions of people that claimed to see and witness him, and he performed supposedly all sorts of miracles. He was said to have walked on water and healed the sick and caused gems to magically appear, and thousands of living people said that they witnessed these miracles. Do you believe in him?
No, but the reason why, again...
Okay, so then saying, we know that a guy named Jesus existed, we have some evidence, doesn't do shit for your claim, right? Because here we have a contemporary person who has millions of followers today that you don't believe in.
Hold on.
Who's more historical, Jesus or Joseph Smith?
That's another good one.
Jesus.
Well, wait, Jesus is? You said you named one eyewitness testimony, which isn't actually confirmed to be an eyewitness testimony. We have thousands of eyewitness testimonies. We have Joseph Smith's court records. We have Joseph Smith's DNA, his death mask. Joseph Smith is much more a historical figure than literally anybody from Jesus's time at all.
He's not ancient history. Ancient history.
Okay, so do you agree then? Do you agree that what you said, that Jesus is more historical than Joseph Smith, was incorrect? Is it true that that was an incorrect?
No, I don't agree with that. No, I don't. And
you don't admit that. Wait. No, you're not going to get off of that.
I don't think Mike knows what historical means.
Joseph Smith existed for a fact.
Wait. Yes, that's right. I'm asking you, what are you saying is more historical? What does that even mean? What is that? What is that a term?
Confirmed to actually exist in history.
Confirmed to actually exist in history.
Yes. And Joseph Smith, what were you saying? You said that Jesus Christ existed, and you said Jesus was so when you said Jesus was more historical than Muhammad, then, which that even could be true. I've never looked into the eyewitness accounts of Muhammad, but I'm guessing you're mixing it up. But then we went with Joseph Smith. What did you mean when you say he was more historical than Joseph Smith?
I don't know. I just threw something out there, but now when I thought about it, I never heard that term before.
I just threw something. I just said some shit. Some shit and was hoping you guys wouldn't check.
Do you know, by the way, to be a historical figure, do you know to be an accepted historical figure? Did you know that to reach the status of a historical figure is not the same to be?
This whole conversation
Oh my
is
God.
weird, you know? It's like,
Oh my
hold
God.
on, hold on a second, hold on a second.
Okay, I'm
All right,
holding.
we've already established that you
I'd show
can't
you what I'm
prove
holding, but
atheism,
it's
right?
TOS.
Hold on, hold
I'm
on.
not.
We've
No,
already
I don't.
established-
I don't concede that you can't prove atheism. I am a strong
Okay,
atheist.
so
I believe that
atheism.
you can make the most reasonable conclusion, which is basically what when we say prove, we're using it in a colloquial sense. I actually believe the most reasonable conclusion on the basis of what I already gave you is that no gods exist. Not simply that I lack a belief in God. No gods exist. I think you can make that reasonable conclusion, and the preponderance of evidence actually points it to being then knowledge. You can know that no gods exist.
Okay, the most reasonable conclusion. So what's the basis for that?
I already gave it to you. Do you not remember?
There's no evidence for it and good evidence against it.
Right.
That's
Can
the
we?
No
long and
evidence
short
for
of it.
God?
Can you say
Okay, well,
definitively? Can you say definitively that no wizards exist?
No, wait. You're saying the most reasonable conclusion is that there's no God, right?
I say that.
Yes.
I don't believe that is Forrest's position.
I'm willing to take it for this
So,
call.
okay. So let me just get this straight. Let me just
He's
get
always
this.
willing to take it.
The exact explanatory principle is that what? There's a better explanation for everything than God? Is that the idea?
What I need you to understand, it's long and short of it, is that what a lot of theists will try to do is point to something that they don't understand and say that can't happen without a god. And what I'm trying to, I bet a lot of money that is where this is going to go. And what I'm trying to head you off the path here and let you know, ignorance isn't evidence, Mike.
I think it's going to blow our mind.
Wait. Because there seems to be two different things happening here.
Okay.
Are you saying that there's no good evidence for God, or are you saying that
I've said that like 5 times?
Wait. No, because what you just said just now is a little bit different. You seem to be saying just now that naturalism explains reality better than theism. That seems to be what you're saying just now.
I'm saying both things.
I'm comfortable with that conclusion.
I'm saying both things.
You say both things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact,
there is no good reason to believe in a god, and naturalism explains reality better than theism.
Yeah, we have a god of the gaps, not a naturalism of the gaps. Time and time again, if you place your bet on an explanation eventually coming out of the naturalistic world perspective, usually that ends up being a pretty good bet.
Okay.
So I'm way comfortable then with the conclusion naturalism explains everything better than God.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so how does naturalism explain, or does naturalism explain why reality exists at all? The contingent reality.
Probably.
I literally said a second ago. I said I was going to head you off at the pass and say you're just going to point to something that you don't understand and say therefore God must have done it, and ignorance isn't evidence. And then you immediately said, "Well, wait. Are you saying there's no reason?" Like I don't know. I fucking.
But the answer is probably.
You're strawmanning me right now.
Hey, Mike, the answer to your question is probably. Naturalism probably does explain it.
I did not strawman you. I don't think you know what strawmanning is either.
Yeah. But the answer is probably.
Well, you're telling me that I said, oh, God. I didn't say that. I asked you a question.
Okay.
And
the answer is probably.
Explain the existence of
the answer is probably.
Reality itself?
So let me explain. Let me demonstrate why.
Let
me demonstrate why I said what I said. Let's just play a little game here. I'm just going to pretend for a second that my answer is no. Naturally, I'm pretending, again, I'm going to pretend that the answer to your question, no, naturalism cannot explain why reality exists. What is your follow-up to that? What would you say then in that scenario?
Okay, my follow-up would be that since there's things that are contingent or dependent on other things for their existence, and you're like, for the sake of argument, you're saying the universe is one of those things, then my suggestion is that there must be something which is necessary or that does not depend on anything else for its existence to...
Yes, it's Thomas Aquinas' version of the Kalam cosmological argument. Yeah, we all know it.
It's a little bit Craigie, too.
But that is exactly what I was... That is precisely what I was just saying. Just because we don't have a naturalistic explanation for something does not mean you need to insert a supernatural explanation, because you have no actual evidence of anything supernatural. What you have is a pocket of ignorance saying, I don't know how naturalism could have done this. As far as I know, it doesn't explain it. Therefore, magic happened.
No, that's not what we're
We are
saying.
really
What we're
getting a
saying
lot
is
of callers who will not cease talking while another person is talking. And this is why I've started giving up on callers like this, because it's one of those things where it's, how could they possibly be listening to you if they're speaking while you're talking? They can't be taking in your points. And so all we can do, which Forrest is very good at, by the way, and I will do for a period of time, is just expose how bad a person is at this. And that's basically where we are now. And Forrest is doing a good job of doing that. But at the end of the day, we are in a situation where there's not interlocuting happening right now. There's Mike talks, and then sometimes Forrest and Mike talk, and sometimes Jimmy and Mike talks. Like it's wild.
Actually, it's frustrating to me when I can literally say, hey, you're gonna say this and this is wrong. And then you say the thing, and then I point out that you said the thing, and then you accuse me of straw manning, and then I'm like, okay, let's just prove it. Here's the prompt, and you say the fucking thing.
What you were gonna say. I didn't say what you said I was gonna say.
Straw man.
You did. You did, Mike. Your whole point here, Mike, your whole point here is that if indeed naturalism can't explain the beginnings of the universe or why the universe exists or fill in the blank on whatever the talking point here is, then we must have some supernatural component, because for some reason okay, what's the thing that you believe, that you're proposing here, that there is evidence caused the universe to exist? What is
also,
the thing
you did say
proposing?
Supernatural, because you said it wasn't going to be naturalistic. That's the only other option.
If the universe is contingent, along with the things in the universe,
we don't know.
We all know the contingency argument. We all know the contingency argument. It's trash. What I asked you is, what is the thing? You know the argument. No, what is the non-contingent thing that you are proposing, Mike?
I'm not going there yet. I'm not. That's another separate question. I'm just talking about.
You're not going there because it's exactly what I'm saying. You're saying, and you don't want to admit it. What is the non-contingent thing that you're proposing?
Are you? No, that can come later. But what I'm just suggesting here is that.
Nope, it's going to come right now, or we're going to move on to another call. What is the non-contingent thing that you're proposing, Mike?
Obviously, I was going to try to prove that the necessary being must be God. I was going to say that.
Right, and God is a supernatural entity outside of space and time, independent of matter, able to manipulate things in such a way that a universe like ours comes into existence while not being governed by the rules of this universe. Therefore, he is able to be non-contingent, as everything else is contingent. The uncaused cause, the prime mover. We've heard it all before, dude. It's exactly what I fucking said a minute ago.
So why can't you explain how the universe came to be? You can't do that.
Because I don't... Mike, once again, you do not know what I believe, and you are making assumptions based on what you do not know. I don't know.
Can I? Because I'd like to engage the question.
Yeah, go for it. Have fun.
Hey, Mike, I accept your worldview. Now explain to me how the universe came to be.
Because of a necessary being.
No. I accept that. I'm a Christian like you. How did he make the universe?
Through his powers
and how did those work? Wait. How did his powers make the universe?
I don't know. Why do I have to know that?
Wait, you don't know? I thought you said it is that's it. Like, this is clearly how it happened, and that we have a problem because we can't tell you how. It's in the mechanics of it, right? We can tell you that nothing about the origin of the universe shouts that it needed to break any natural law. Nothing about it makes scientists go, we'll never solve that. In fact, everything about it says we are solving it more and more every day and getting closer to an answer by never breaking free of the naturalism, though we haven't completed the answer. But you were complaining that if that's our position, then we should be able to tell you how. And I said, you know what? Done. I'm converted because you can tell me how God created the universe. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Big Mike. Big Mike.
Wow,
How
dude.
did God
I
create
don't
the
get-
universe?
Listen. I'm not saying you have to explain how. You have to explain like.
You literally said
explain,
how.
Like,
You actually
Oh,
did
okay.
literally say how.
oh, dude. It's contingent versus
Okay, great.
non-contingent. Right? If
Great,
you're
great,
saying-
great.
if
So
you're
the
saying
answer is
universe
and so then the answer is, since I don't have to tell you how, I only have to remain consistent with the original position and never give you the mechanics. I can simply say by a process which never broke natural order. And that is actually more of an answer than you give when you say God did it.
No, because that doesn't.
Yep.
Because you're still the
Yes, it does.
natural order. Hold on. The natural
Mhm.
order is still contingent.
Mm-hmm.
So you still need
Maybe.
some
No,
kind of
no, no,
Excuse me,
no,
maybe.
Mike.
We don't know
Mike,
that.
Mike, you don't understand.
No,
it was a
it is.
part of the natural order that's non-contingent.
Yeah.
There's a
No.
natural thing that isn't contingent, and that's what did it.
Yep.
If it's natural, it's contingent.
No,
Because
it's a special. No, Mike, you don't understand. It's natural is always contingent, except for this one thing that is natural and non-contingent.
Yeah, Mike, by the way,
And
you're
that's what
saying
did it.
natural is always contingent, but you're talking about the universe. That which is natural within the universe appears to be
It's-
always contingent,
It's like
except
the second thought.
quantum mechanics lately have been undermining that actually there are non-contingent quarks popping into existence all the time. So we even see potentially non-contingent stuff happen. But maybe that's just the signature of God's jizz. Who knows what a quark even is?
It's like the
No,
second
if you're
law
saying
of
the
thermodynamics,
force
where it's different if we're talking
opposite-
about within the universe or the whole universe. It's a whole thing, Mike. Anyway, it's a
Right.
natural thing, and that's what did it, and we know that now. Do you believe us? Because we just said the same vapid nothing that you did.
But actually, it's more
So,
consistent
okay,
and
so
has
this-
more. The worst part is we're saying it's the same,
Hold on.
but it's actually better than what you said. Still, that's the
Okay, now
sad
hold on.
part.
If you say there's some natural thing that's not contingent, do you mean that it could not have failed to exist?
What could not have
That's
failed
what
to
not
exist?
contingent means. Not contingent means
oh.
it could not have failed to exist.
God, that's
That might
the
be
issue,
the
though, is
quality
that
of the universe.
God could have failed to exist. Our universe could not have.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait! No, you're saying that there's something in the universe or the universe itself that's non-contingent. So I'm asking you the question, because that's what non-contingent means. Does it mean that it could
Yep.
not
That
have
isn't
failed
what
to exist?
non-contingent
What's your
means.
reason?
No,
What's your
no,
reason
Mike's
for thinking
absolutely
that?
right. Mike's absolutely right. I'm so fucking. I've got 2 other calls, and I've got to go to bed soon because I have to be in goddamn Stillwater again at 9 a.m. to fucking talk about behavioral neuroendocrinology, y'all. And I'm I'm tired. Mike,
Of course,
I
the
agree
day
with
I get a
everything.
show with you, we can't go 8 hours.
Yeah. I actually planned it that way on purpose. Fuck you, Mike. I agree with everything you're saying, and you're absolutely right. And that's the thing, is that God could fail to exist, the universe could not. The universe has that special non-contingent thing, but God, however, absolutely could fail to exist, and I can prove that.
Wait, prove that the universe has this non-contingent thing. Prove that.
No, because you haven't proven that God
Why?
exists and has this non-contingent thing. So I'm saying the
not
exact
trying
same
to
thing you're
prove
saying
that.
for the
I'm trying-
exact same reasons.
No, dude, listen. That's not what it is. We're not even there yet. You're trying to suggest that the universe
We are there.
is not contingent.
We are there.
You're
We've
failing
been
to
there this whole
understand
time.
where we are does
Why
not
should
make
I
that
believe
where
that?
we are. If
Why
we
should I
drive out,
believe that the
if we
universe is
drive
not
out to the
contingent?
forest and you go, "Is this a lake?" It doesn't make it not a forest. Like we are
still
where
a
we
forest,
are,
yo.
and right now we're
Can
inside
you provide a
forest.
logical reason? Can you provide a logical reason why the universe is
Right
not
around the
contingent? Can you do
spleen.
that?
What does the word logical mean? When you say a logical reason, what does that mean?
I mean, some kind of, maybe you could provide like a P not P for the
Oh, you want a
non-existence for,
syllogism?
Um,
And so if I
not
do a
as-
syllogism, I do it.
I
If
was
I
saying-
do
I
a
was thinking of
syllogism,
P not Ps.
it would be easy to do a syllogism. It would be,
P not P is a syllogism? It's not.
what's that?
P not P is not a syllogism. I didn't ask you for a syllogism. I asked you for a contradiction.
Mike, I'm happy.
with the
Mike, I'm
notion-
happy to pee not pee
Just
all
wanna
over
pee,
the
not
place.
pee.
But the point of what I'm getting at here is that all I have done is said the same things that you are saying about God,
haven't.
about the
No, you haven't.
universe. All I've said is said
No,
the
no, you're
same
not.
stuff.
No,
No, you haven't.
And
again,
Mike,
I'm not.
Mike,
I'm going to join you
Jesus
with trolling
Christ.
him. No, you haven't, Matt Forrest. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, Mike,
not what you're
I'm
doing.
actually
What
at the
you're
point now
doing
where
is
I'm going
you're-
to start
you're
using the mute
making-
button because I can't handle it. Mike, you said, nobody can hear you right now but you, Mike, just to be clear. You said that there must be something that's non-contingent, and that non-contingent thing is God. And we just said, okay, the universe is non-contingent too. And now we're at the exact same place. And you said, well, I mean, could the universe have failed to exist? And Yeah, the universe could not have failed to exist. However, I assert that your God could have failed to exist. I've said now the exact same thing that you have said. And both of us have said fucking nothing. Because in science, when we don't know something, you know what we say? I don't know. And what you're saying is, hey, listen, I know that you guys have got like all of these physicists and all of these astrophysicists and all these astronomers and all these astrobiologists and all these scientists, all these different people, hundreds and thousands of people across thousands of years who've been trying to figure this out with amazing data and amazing research, questioning themselves, changing their minds, learning new stuff, tearing down entire paradigms of how we see the entire cosmos just to fit the best understanding of the best data that we have over and over hundreds and thousands of years. But there could be a fucking guy. And, like, there's this guy, and he's floating around in, like, space, and he's, like, whipping up planets and shit because he's, like, a space wizard. And, like, he just, I think it might have been the fucking space guy.
I think it might have been a guy.
It might have just been some fucking guy. And I'm just trying to tell you, dude, you can do this shit all you want. But if you want to be a fucking adult, you need to just say, I don't know a thing, if you don't know a thing. And if you learn a thing, say that thing. But just saying, I don't know where the universe comes from, I don't know how the universe started, I don't know how contingency works, I don't know whatever, is not an argument for some fucking guy who just whips up planets and galaxies and solar systems and universes ex nihilo and fucking from whole cloth just out of nowhere, and he really, really cares about whether or not you have butt sex. It doesn't fucking work. It's childish and stupid, and I'm so fucking bored of it, and I'm so sick and fucking bored of you talking over both of us with the same condescending bullshit. I'm done with this call, Jimmy. Do you want to move on to the next one so I can wrap up the show?
I'm on Mike's side. I think it was a guy. And it was me,
yeah, you're
Mike.
Right. It was just some fucking guy.
It was me. No, I have one last question for Mike. Mike, I'm unmuting you now. My final question for you is, since you are telling us what naturalists believe, will you please point to me to the philosopher, the book about naturalism, anywhere that you can say definitively says the naturalistic perspective absolutely prohibits the existence of non-contingencies or non-contingent things?
Naturalism doesn't really touch on that. What I'm talking about is metaphysics. This is a huge straw me again.
So earlier when you were claiming we couldn't hold this position because the naturalistic position does not allow for non-contingencies, like when I said that the universe was formed in a way that violates no naturalistic principle, that it came from no violation. You said that's impossible because to be natural, it can't be non-contingent. Those were your exact words. You can rewind the tape, Mike. I'm holding, dude. I've been holding on this whole time. My balls are numb.
What I was saying to you is that even if you suggest that the universe began according to naturalistic process,
correct? Yes,
that doesn't prove that the existence of nature itself is non-contingent. That doesn't prove that.
Neither does God. Neither does God.
No, I know.
By the way, that isn't what you said. You're now strawmanning your own self to try and intellectualize something, and what actually came out of your mouth was equally, if not more, dumb. And at the end of the day, you don't understand the principles which you're trying to discuss. And even if you did, you wouldn't actually get closer. Mike, the funniest thing about this, Mike, is we've just been stuck on what is essentially your assertion of deism, and how even if we then broke down and went, you know what, we can't rule out deism, which I think we can. But if we got there and said, you know, we can't rule out deism, the distance between deism and theism, Christian theism, isn't then just a slight hop away. It's a humiliating fall down a mountain, because Christianity, regardless of what you want to define atheism as, I can tell you that both Forrest and I believe Christianity is definitively false. That is proven untrue,
that's
Mike.
A totally different argument. That's totally separate from what we're talking about.
Mike,
he kept strawmanning me.
Mike, if you had listened to me, I muted you. I'm no longer interested. If you had listened to me, I actually stated how separate it is. That we've basically got stuck on your inability to understand naturalism and what straw manning is, to basically talk about your deistic contentions and never got to the meat, which is this. Christianity's proposal for the existence of the universe and how everyone is meant to function isn't just wrong, it's fucking stupid. And wrong.
Jimmy loves getting to the meat. And at the end of the day, Mike, what you keep fucking doing is bringing up bogus problems with atheism and naturalism and everything that your worldview and your position cannot solve. I encourage you to try to learn how thinking works. It's a lot of fun. Also, learn what straw manning is. Just learn what the fuck straw manning is, honestly. It's not, we never did it. We made fun of you, and we talked over a couple of your sillier points, but at no point did I misrepresent what you were saying to a point where it was easier for me to debate with and then not allow you to change it. I asked you what you believed and repeated what you said, and you accused me of straw manning you. Like, good gravy, dude.
At this point, I think you could go to the transcript and repeat to him his exact words and cadence even, and he would go, that's straw manning me. How dare you use my words against me?
A few shots to use the same cadence.
Okay, bye, Mike.
Anyway, I'm going to talk to Lucian now because I have some pointed questions for Lucian calling in.
Don't forget the questions.
As an independent from Texas. I won't forget the questions. Lucian, you're on the line, except you're not, with Forrest and Jimmy. How are you doing?
This is the line. It's Jimmy Snow and
Can I do a 30-second introduction?
No, because I need to ask you your name. No, your age. I have your name. Fuck me. I need to know your age is what I need to know first. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Okay. And you called in as a monarchist before, saying democracy is bad. Now you're calling in as an independent, talking about equal rights amendments.
Yeah. Can I do a 30-second introduction? So
what changed you from monarchism to being an independent?
I'm still a monarchist. I'm a part of the American Solidarity Party.
What does that do? How is it? Do you want America to join with the British democracy or to establish a new democracy?
It's a niche group of dry penises that unify around their dry penises.
No.
I don't know why, Lucian, you called back thinking I was going to engage you in good faith. I'll start off the bad faith. I remember our calls.
I have a question that I want to do that I don't think is what
Forrest might do good faith with you. We'll see. Maybe for a treat.
Anyway, I don't particularly want to give you a 30-second intro to your question because I have a different question that I want to ask you.
Okay, I'm going to do my 30-second intro if that's okay with you.
No, you're not. No, you're not. So you said that you were upset about equal rights amendment because it lets boys go into girls' bathrooms. That's what I have written down here, right?
Oh, also, men get to rape women in prison. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay, so there's an amendment being proposed that says in the text, men get to rape women in prison. So now, what I'm curious to know, just off the bat here, what is a woman, Lucian?
What is a woman?
Yeah.
A woman is common. I mean, a woman is. I'm sorry if I get this. A woman is someone that doesn't have a Y chromosome.
Okay, so then you're telling me, and is that always true, or is that just a generally true?
I would say that is generally true, but I'm not here to debate what a woman is, but sure.
Okay, so, well, the issue is you're talking about how this equal rights thing is bad because it ostensibly it's about trans people, right? You think that boys going into girls' bathrooms and men raping women in prison.
Trans people.
You're talking about all the... it's not about trans people. Okay, so what is this new equal rights amendment that's saying that men get to rape women? What amendment is that?
Yeah, so basically the text says that you can't discriminate in any way based on women or men. Basically, that would mean that you can't discriminate, and that would mean that you would have to integrate women in men prisons, then therefore allowing like a 45-year-old man to rape an 18-year-old girl.
That's obviously not true at all. And the last time you called in, I still have it. It says here on the call screen, the last time you called, you said democracy is bad and has led to failures, and Trump, like Trump and every bad president we've ever had. So, like, I know that we have, like, some major differences here, and now you're talking about this equal rights amendment in a way that I guarantee nobody in their fucking right mind would actually be taking seriously, and I know Jimmy's got the text pulled up right now, so I don't even know what amendment you're talking about, and I'm willing to bet actual money that that's not what it says. What I find interesting is the fact that you're so concerned about these things, but you don't know what the fuck a woman is, man. That's concerning to me.
I'd like you just to read to me the clause in the Equal Rights Amendment that says you cannot discriminate in any way on the basis of sex. Just read me that passage, because I know the passage that affects.
Section 1?
Read it.
I don't have it pulled up. I mean, I'll pull it up really quick.
Yeah, great.
And judges can imply things.
Oh yeah, they can imply. So you're already trying to poison the well. You're all not quite poisoning the well, but you're trying to prep it a little bit of like, I know I said that, but I'm about to say it and say it's implied in there. It's not, when in reality, in fact, if the Equal Rights Amendment were to pass, it would actually improve things in separated prisons because men and women's prisons are given different levels of accommodation, and the ability to discriminate for their equality is what would be prohibited, not whether or not you could actually have men versus women's prisons.
Sorry, I'm pulling up the text.
Yeah, great.
Well, the amendment doesn't state a separate but equal type of thing like Plessy v. Ferguson did for racial lines. Did
you just learn about that one in school too?
No. So I don't know what substance that adds, but
it's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing to bring in out of nowhere when it does nothing really to go to like what Jimmy or I were just talking about.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. Anyways, well, so
you?
He was making a statement that this would actually help women's and men's prisons since they get unequal amounts of funding. Well, that would then, what I think he's trying to assert is it would still allow for there to be some segregation based on the sexes and the genders, but it wouldn't allow, but they have to get equal funding, which is the same type of, judicial decision that was made by Plessy v. Ferguson.
Okay, so what part of making sure that men's and women's prisons are equally funded means that men get to go rape women in prison?
No,
that's the words
I'm saying that the text doesn't say that, and I'm saying that the text says that women's and men's prisons have to be integrated.
No, they don't. They legitimately do not. You're basically trying to say, because there's not extra text that I demand be there, then the conclusion of like what happened in Plessy v. Ferguson wouldn't also be present. And I even went to the unwoke AI. I went to Grok. You like Grok, Lucian? You've never liked anything in your life.
No,
that's what the problem we're in here. I even asked Grok because I'd already asked my woke AI, and even it said, no, the ERA would not prohibit the separation of prisons by gender or biological sex.
Okay, can I read the text? It says equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Couldn't a man walk into a woman's prison and saying that my rights are being abridged by not allowing me to be here?
Nope.
By the way,
literally no.
I love that. I love you. I love that you. I love that you think that that's how the law works. I love that you think that that's how the law works. Is we establish what the rights are, and then someone can just walk in.
According to this law,
somebody can just walk in and say, "This is not the way I want it." The equality of rights, meaning the way they are treated, which will be a total comprehensive answer about what the dangers is of having cisgender men in there with cisgender women. Unfortunately, right now you already have to worry about that in general, rape in general, regardless of the fact cisgender women are raped by other women in prison already. So rape is already an issue. And why, for the sake of both the state side and the citizen side, the equality of rights is actually more preserved by that segregation when we are talking about prison, which is fundamentally a right-taking away institution, but trying to preserve some rights as best you can beyond the obviously imprisonment right, because you have a right to not be imprisoned unless you've broken the law. Your understanding, this is so, it's so dumb because I'm going to say the same thing that I said last time, and you're going to go, well, you're just resorting to ad hominems. But I don't know how much time I want to waste on a childish person's view who is pretty much still literally a child of going, my non-expertise, my zero law school, but my way that I want to frame this, to then say the Equal Rights Amendment's goal was to legalize and increase the raping of women by men. Like, it's just stupid. It's just engaging stupidity at the level of a flat earther.
Lucian, do you know what Title IX is?
Comes after Title VIII.
Yeah. I am somewhat aware of Title IX. Yeah, I mean, like
What does it do?
I'm pretty sure that's the one that makes sure that there's equal funding for women's sports and men's sports.
No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So we can't deny, women, or it says sex, not gender. So we can't deny females different rights than males when it comes to education or educational programs or benefits. So does that mean that right now a young boy can go into an all-girls school here in America and rape some girls because there are all-girls schools, and he can say, I'm being discriminated against for this all-girls school? Does that ever happen? Is that a thing you think is serious?
That's directly relating to budget. That's not talking about.
Okay, so if they had enough budget, can they then go rape?
That's so such a stupid cop out.
So dumb.
You're literally talking about funding prisons.
You are a silly, silly, silly person. It's hard. I want to engage good faith. And unfortunately, we've already capped calls because this guy doesn't want to do an 8-hour show. But I'm hoping the last call is at least good faith.
I got to go talk about hormones for a long time. Hey, Lucian, there's sex and gender are different things, though, right?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
You know that sex and gender are different things?
Yes. I am aware of sex and gender.
And biologically speaking, of course, they don't have to be congruent. Like, we know that's a thing, true, right?
Yeah.
Righteous. So just at the end of the call, I know you weren't calling about trans folks, but
that sex and gender are different things. Gender is considered a social norm, while sex is scientific.
No, they're both scientific. Just to be very clear, they're both scientific things. But anyway, I knew you weren't calling about trans folks, but we do got to move on. So really quick, can I just get a little trans rights and human rights? Yeah, I literally just said that with my face. Can you just get a little trans rights and human rights? A little cutesy little trans rights and human rights, and then we'll move on. The last call.
Trans rights are indeed human rights. I agree with you.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, Lucian. Bye-bye. Anyway, you got the last call is for you, man, if you want it.
I don't want it. Why do I want it?
Well, because I got to go in like 2 minutes.
I thought it was for you.
Let me tell you,
really have to
No
go at
Child
11?
Left Behind has done all sorts of harm. I would like to go by 11 because like I say, I've got to get up early as fucking go. Do
hello
fucking hormone stuff.
Eugene in Illinois, you're on the line with Jimmy and Forrest. What's up?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? How are you guys?
Peachy.
I'm all right.
That's good. Well, pretty
Eugene,
much
are trans rights human rights?
That's a good way to start.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
Fuck yeah. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I was calling
Eugene,
was because
which host here is trans?
between both of you?
Yeah.
I have no way.
Get it wrong, and we will be insulted.
Sure.
So the answer is
way
neither.
of telling right now.
So the answer is neither, and this isn't meant to shame you. But wouldn't you rather call on Thursday when you could talk to an actual trans person about it?
Well, yeah, that might work better. I tried to call, and I didn't want to be rude and cut off the MAGA stuff because I'm not really MAGA. So
I feel you, Eugene. Thursday, you could call 2 shows. You could either at 2:00 Central call the Transatlantic Call-In Show, and then you got to talk to 2 trans people. Often one of them's a goddamn doctor. and then the others are politicians and shit like that, activists, all that kind of shit. That's 2 o'clock over the line, or over here on my channel, you can talk to myself and Luxander, who is also one of the transes, and would be happy to run through the trans stuff with you, including sports criteria. But it's one of those things where I don't care. I care about trans people getting rights. And so if you want to get into the logistics of when those different criteria should be and what to convince you of whatever, that, you know, is going to be a hard do that with a trans person for me.
Yeah, okay. I understand. I wasn't trying to say I'm arguing for a thing, but she was just asking me to phrase it in a type of way. I guess my concern was so like trans safety actually is why, but I think you're right. It would be a better question for that show. So I'll just see if I can make it at that time.
Because we'd just be a couple of sissies speculating, you know?
A few sissies, am I right?
A few sissies. I don't know if you're cis. Now I know that it's a few. All right. Thank you. Well, Eugene, appreciate that. We will talk to you on Thursday probably, or whenever you call back in with the trans co-host.
All right. I appreciate you guys. Be safe and have a good night.
Chill.
Take care. Yeah, no, I feel bad for the person waiting for so very long, but at the end of the day, it is better for that show to do what that show does. That was it. Do you want to, how are you going to
do the outro song?
I was going to ask you if you want to do the outro, if you want to do the same outro song, or if you want to
I don't have a
lip sync something else. I've got one.
Okay, here. Put... Earlier in the show, someone said, if I didn't know better, if I didn't know that they were friends, I would think these two hate each other and these remarks are passive aggressive. And I say, who says you can't hate your friends and be passive aggressive?
Yeah.
We're really classing up the show. Hang on, let me lip sync.
Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in today to Jimmy Snow on the Line, the best boy band in the world. I've been your only host, Forrest Valkai, and these were all the MAGA calls. Trans rights, human rights, free Palestine, fuck Donald Trump, and fuck guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye.